So I wasn't gonna stream today because I didn't make a lot of progress since yesterday. But then I was trying to figure out how to do the circle, and I was watching some videos, and then I realized, I remembered that when I studied 3GS, I saw that they had a function to build circles. So I thought that the best thing to do would be to download 3GS and then look at their source code and see how they do it and then try to implement it. And then when I did that, I realized that I just looked at their code and I saw that to me it makes a lot more sense than Pixie.js. Like right away, when I look at the code, it felt like a lot more organized and a lot smaller than Pixie.js. But obviously I might be biased. And also to Pixie.js's credit, the way that the 3GS and Pixie.js do the classes seems to be very similar. So I think I was wrong about that. Yesterday I said that it didn't make a lot of sense to me, the way that they were doing, but I think that it's probably the correct way. And the reason why I thought that it didn't make a lot of sense is because I don't understand really well. But they build base classes that are very simple, and then on top of that, they specialize by building other classes. That's how they build the visualizations. But what I'm gonna do right now is go over the 3GS code to see if I understand. And after going very deep on Pixie.js, the reason why I chose Pixie.js to the project that I'm making is that I talked with ChatGPT and I did some research online, just searching on Google and DuckDuckGo on what would be the most efficient library to create graph networks, visualizations of graph networks that might be real time. And the answer I got was Pixie. But after going very in depth into Pixie, very deep into Pixie, and studying WebGL and reading the articles, and now looking at 3GS, I think that 3GS is probably a lot better than Pixie.js. That's just the feeling that I got right away when I was just downloading this code. And the first library that I studied and I tried to implement was 3GS. And then I moved to Pixie right after that. But obviously I just did it with the API here, the surface level API, and because I didn't understand anything. But now that I have gone through that journey of studying and understanding these things, it seems like the 3GS is a lot better. And everything that they are doing here, it makes a lot of sense. The other stuff that I just cleared in my mind, and this is something that is very common when you're learning something new, is initially there's a bunch of information, so even simple things you can't really understand because you're trying to think about so many things at the same time that the small stuff, it flies over your head. So this stuff happened to me when I was learning these things here, but now I think I understand much better. And the reason why these values here exist is because these values it's like you're telling the buffer how to use the data on the vertex shader, or the vertex or the fragment shader. So it's pretty much specifications of how the data is going to be used, because you determine what kind of data you're going to put on the buffer, and then you have to determine how many bytes you want the buffer to use, which would be this stride and offset here, and you have to determine if it's going to be x and y or x and y and z, which is the number of the size here, I think. I still don't know very well which one is related to which, but this is the specifications. And I think that to simplify the process of creating the program, I looked into the TWGL library, this library here, but I didn't like that much the way that they do things, so I'm probably not going to use them. And the way that I'm thinking more about it is just by following the tutorial here, or just by creating my own functions, because what they do is pretty simple, I think. Instead of creating a bunch of variables, they just create a function that creates an object and then maps the name of the variable that the shader uses to the values, to these values here that are gonna specify to the buffer how to use the data in the buffer to call the shader. I think that's how it works. And it seems like 3JS also does that. But now I'm thinking that what I'm probably going to do is just try to copy 3JS as much as possible, but try not to use 3JS. I think the way that they did it, everything is probably very good. But I want to try to build stuff from scratch because that's going to allow me to understand much more how it works. And also, I think that I'm going to try as much as possible to not use 3JS, like download the library and just use the API, because if I can build my own code, then it's going to allow me to just simplify a lot and not use all of the other stuff that's going to be unnecessary for my use case. But I think I'm probably gonna just copy the code that they use. So I'm gonna try to find what parts of this code are related to the stuff that I want to use. And the only thing I did since the last time I streamed, which was yesterday, is implement this example here. And this allows you to translate the animation. It creates a rectangle based on this stuff here in this function. This creates the data for the rectangle, and then just creates a rectangle at a random position. And then it uses these functions from the utils that creates a slider that allows you to translate the rectangle. So the thing that I'm struggling to understand yet is how to model, like what is the best approach to model the world and the elements inside of the road. So there's an article that talks about this, which is this scene graph here. And I understand it, like it creates a class, and each class has a matrix, and then the matrix are connected with each other. But I think that the only way to model the stuff is outside of the shaders. So you don't model the stuff inside of the shader code, you model outside with your own classes. And then you have to keep the state of the road inside of the classes. So you model everything from JavaScript, and then based on what happens on JavaScript, you change and you do the calculations to send the position chart to the shaders, which was not the way that I thought about that I would think. But I'm still not very clear on this, because I know that some of the examples, they show that if you're going from 2D to 3D, it's going to change the variables that you use inside the shader to create the coordinate system. So obviously it is related, because the variable in the shader is going to determine how you structure the positions. But I think the only thing that the shader is responsible for is creating the clip space, which is just going to be the relative positions from the pixel to clip space. So clip space is from -1 to 1, and pixel coordinates is like whatever, it depends on the device or the application, I think. And this stuff is very confusing as well. I remember watching a video where the guy explains a bunch of stuff about viewport and heights and widths, and like it's very annoying, because it obviously depends on the pixel ratio of the monitor, and it depends on the operational system, and then in the browser. So like there's a bunch of different layers of complexity, and obviously on the CSS and how everything is going to interact. So this stuff is more, like, I think is the most annoying about all of this. And then based on these coordinates, you have to do a bunch of things to make sure that the coordinates are always like the same, regardless of where the application is being used. And then I think that's the main reason why shaders use the clip space, which goes from -1 to 1. And then there's some nuance that I don't understand really well. But I think for modeling the world and the elements on the world, you have to do it from JavaScript on your own classes. So the stuff that I'm thinking about doing now is just changing from a rectangle here. So pretty much the way that and this is another thing that I'm not really sure now. I think there's two different ways to build the circle. One is to put the code inside of the shader itself. And the way that the circle works is pretty much like you create a bunch of triangles, and then you rotate the triangles inside of the center, around the center of the circle. And the way you do that is by creating a snap, and you also use sine and cosine to translate the triangles. So size of the step is going to determine how many triangles you create, and that's going to determine the resolution of the circle, which makes a lot of sense. And it is what I was thinking about. So it's kind of like an integer. Not I think it's integral. I'm not really sure how to say that in English, but the mathematical concept where you're just approximating towards infinity, and the more you approximate, the higher the resolution becomes, and it gives you the illusion that it is a circle, but it's just a bunch of triangles together. So, and this is the stuff, like I thought about this before looking at the 3GS, but then I thought about maybe that approach is very inefficient because you have to draw a bunch of different triangles. So I think it would be cool to implement in the same way that they implement here, where like I can give the person the option of the resolution that they want. So because lower resolution obviously is going to be, and this is the cool thing about this visualization, I think, is that it also allows you to draw like the different shapes if you have lower resolution, and it is faster. So ideally, I would be able to create the nodes based on this. So I think that's what I'm going to try to implement now. I'm going to try to replace the... So the other way of creating the shape is by changing the data. So inside of the vertex shader, you have the position, which is the variable. And then from JavaScript, you're going to set the data in the buffer. And the buffer is going to communicate with the shader. So depending on the way that you structure the data and the way that you specify how the buffer is going to use the data, is going to draw the points, and it's going to create triangles based on the data. So the annoying thing is figuring out what is the correct format here to create the triangles, and then create a function that creates multiple triangles, and also this stuff here. And I think that it might be interesting to try to implement with this low-level code directly instead of using 3GS, because in the future it also might be possible, and the tutorial talks about this as well, where obviously one optimization you can do is changing these values here. Because if you think about it, like what the buffer is doing is grabbing chunks of the data you send based on the specifications here. So depending on what type of data you have you can select different chunks, and that's going to optimize the speed and the memory, I think, that it uses, because you can break down exactly at the points that you're going to use. But this is obviously a lot more advanced, so I think I'm just going to try to do the simplest way possible first, and then maybe in the future, once I have everything set up, then if I do things the way that I'm thinking about now, where I do everything from scratch and just copy the code, it allows me to have more flexibility later on once I have more experience, to improve and optimize depending on what kind of stuff I want to do. So this is the reason why I think, and there's also an interview that I saw with a guy that has been programming for years. Maybe I should show it here, because it's very good podcast, and he talks about this, but I think it's on Spotify. So Spotify programming podcast. I forgot the name of the guy, but I think he created some game or something like that. But he pretty much talks about that is very useful to reinvent the wheel. And I agree with him, so that's what I'm trying to do. So even though like it's unlikely that you're going to be able to do something better, it's very beneficial to try to reinvent the stuff that already exists, because then it gives you the perspective of the people that built the thing, and makes you have a much deeper understanding of the reason why things are the way that they are. And it is the stuff that I talked about yesterday, where like in the beginning, when I made this YouTube channel and I started learning how to code, I naturally thought more about from the perspective that I'm always wrong and people that are building this stuff are always right, because obviously I didn't have any experience. So it makes sense to think like that. But now I think it makes more sense to start switching that perspective and always look at things with the eyes of the people probably knew what they're doing, but it's possible that they built things on a suboptimal way. And I think that is a lot better to think about it in this way now, with the experience that I have, because it allows you to, even if you're wrong, it allows you to put yourself in the position of the people that build this stuff, and also forces you to think on different ways you can, like, forces you to think on how you would do it, how would you try to do it differently, and then if they build it in a way that you can't build better, then it makes you realize why they built it like that, much in a much deeper way, I think. I think I'm not gonna be able to find the, but it's this guy here. I'm not subscribed here. Oh, I think it's this one actually. Yeah, it's this video.
Let's circle back. You were talking.
Not subscribed to his channel here. I'm subscribed on my other YouTube channel, because this channel is more for programming stuff, and his channel is more towards math and learning stuff. So I don't wanna put the subscription on this channel. But it's a very good podcast. Yeah, I think he created or helped create World of Warcraft, and it's very good podcast. Really recommend this one. So let me start studying I think I'm gonna put some music, or I'm gonna put Harry Mack in the background. Maybe I'll put because it has words, maybe I'll change the music later. And then I'm gonna just go over the source code here from 3JS. I think the first thing that I'm gonna try to do is just create another function. I think I'm just, for this stream, I'm just gonna spend a bunch of time looking at the code and trying to understand because the great thing about this code, about 3JS library, is that they have all the shaders here. They have a bunch of different shaders. So, and Pixie.js doesn't have as many. So I think it will be very interesting to go over each one and see the differences between them. And then maybe I can use ChatGPT as well to ask questions about what each piece does, but I think it's quite intuitive. So I'm just gonna look at a bunch of them, and then I'm gonna try to see how do they structure things and how do they build a circle, which I already know, which is the function that I talked about, the snap and the triangles. But then I'm gonna try to later on, I think I'm gonna do this off stream. I'm just gonna try to implement the circle function on my own code on this file here. And then I'm gonna use this one instead of the rectangle there on the example that I have, to see if I can translate the rectangle and draw the rectangle, the circle. Then once I have that, then I can create lines, I think. Like create another function to create a line between two nodes, which would be the edge. And once I have that, then I think I can focus on creating the different matrices and simulating the same stuff that Pixie does, where I have the container and then I can move the container around, which I assume is going to be just moving the matrix on a class. And then from the movement of the matrix, I'm going to change all the calculations for all the other elements. And then after I have that, then I can think about replacing the code that I have there with the code that I'm creating here. So I'm gonna put some music. I'm just gonna study. We should just close all this stuff for now. And the other thing that I have to see is what is the best way to create. Maybe 3JS has a way as well to create the attributes and these variables here. So how to create a function that automates this process of, like, it just simplifies everything. So you don't have to declare each variable each time and do the redundant stuff. You just do it on a loop and save on an object. And then I can just use that to change the values of the variables instead of the shaders to do the animation or the drawing.
I linked up with my soul tribe. Yeah, they showed me brand new inventions that were from a whole nother dimension. Yeah. Y'all know I'm about to bust more. Asking about my hip hop, Mount Rushmore. Kendrick Lamar, I gotta say Nas. Jay-Z, Big L, damn, I can't stop. Only 4 names, it's too hard to decide.
Yeah, so this is the class that they use to create a circle. And then set attributes here at the end. I think the UVs is related to the color, but I'm not 100%. I don't understand really well how the UV works. The others are... The normals I also don't understand really well. The vertices is obvious. Just the positions of each thing. And then they use this class, which is their own class to hold the positions. Which is pretty much just gonna be a vector, like, yeah, like the name says. And then this extends buffer geometry, and this is what I mean that Pixie and 3JS is very similar. They just create simple classes that work like an abstract class, which is just a template for what's going to be essential on the geometry, and then they build on top of that. And I think the reason why they do it like this is because these base classes have the fundamental stuff that is going to be used, which is these variables here, just this management of these attributes and uniforms. And then the other classes have things that have functions that are related to the actual shape or the stuff that you're gonna do. But I don't know why, but it feels a lot more simple and like cleaner 3JS from PixieJS. But I can't really say for sure. I don't know if it's just a bias because I used PixieJS and had a bunch of problems, so it might be the case that I'm just biased because of that, because it was really hard to understand how it works. This also happens a lot, where when something is difficult to learn, you have the tendency of, I'm not sure how to put into words, but like dislike the thing because it was difficult. So it's like your subconscious mind trying to make you save energy. And also the other thing is that they also use event dispatcher. But yeah. Not sure. I think I'm just gonna put the music for myself. Because since he's talking about with words, and if I talk about, it might be confusing if I talk over him while he's rapping. I think I'll be right back. The thing I was gonna say is this about this event dispatcher here, and Pixie uses the event emitter. So this is something that I'm not 100% sure, because the problem I have with these event emitters is that the code becomes very confusing, because it becomes hard to know how the different parts of the code are connected through the events. So unless they specify on comments or something like that. So I'm reluctant to do it like that on my own code, but obviously since they both do it, it probably has a lot of benefits. And I think obviously the biggest benefit would be that there might be some nuances when you're drawing the stuff that inside of one of the functions that it's going to draw, you send an event, and then from that event, it updates a bunch of different stuff on the visualization at the same time. And if I just use the events the way that I'm using there now, which I'm just attaching everything to the canvas and putting the functions only on one file, so it's a lot simpler to understand. I'm not gonna be, it's not gonna scale well, because the more stuff that I have on the visualization, the more difficult it becomes to design the functions and to pass the data that the functions are gonna use to synchronize everything, I think. So I think it's better to do it the way that I'm doing if you're doing very simple visualizations, because then it becomes much easier to understand what's going on. But if the visualizations are complex, the more complex the visualizations become, the more likely it becomes better to use something like this. So this is something that I don't know really well what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna try to, for now, I'm gonna try to do it the way that I'm doing now, which is just simplify, just do everything on one file, and then later on, if I feel the need that it would be nice to have something like this, because the visualizations get more complex, then I start using something like this. Here they're creating their own class, but it's pretty much the same logic as the Ventimeter, I think. So I'll be right back. I think I'm going to spend more time studying the shaders instead of studying the circle geometry, because the code here are simple. The difficult part is understanding how this becomes, how is this used on the shaders, and how do they create the world as well. The whole thing I was talking about, the different matrices. So I wanna see if I can find the files here, the functions that create the world and manipulate everything. Yeah, there's these functions about the camera. And I think I'm gonna have to read the tutorials to understand this more as well. This is one of the things that I'm struggling the most to understand. How is the shader connected with the manipulation of the world with the classes, and how to structure everything. I'll be right back. Maybe one thing I can do is just use 3GS uh, to create the shape instead of using. I'm not really sure if it would work, because the rest I'm doing for WebGL, so. I'm not sure why it's not going. Yeah, I think I have to understand how the attributes here are used when it's drawing the stuff and how it's gonna manage everything. So if I just use the geometry, it doesn't make sense because it's just creating attributes. So it's not gonna work. I think obviously for understanding that, you just have to read 3JS documentation and see how they tell you to structure everything. Then just look at the source code of what it's doing. So let me close this stuff here. The difficult thing is figuring out which shaders are used for what thing. That's the problem. That's the question. How do I clarify the connection between the class here, the attributes, and because the attributes are what determines the data. And then at some point it's going to determine the buffer. So this is just the properties, I think, that the buffer is going to use. So these classes construct the properties, then at some point it's going to build the buffers, and then from the buffers it's going to call the shaders. So I have to... So the question is, how do I figure out at what point it's going to call the shaders? So I can see which ones are it's using. Maybe I can ask ChatGPT. So it uses mesh. Now what I'm going to do is just import here. And then I just copy the code and then I press F12 there. It's gonna go to the definition, and then from the definition I know the path to the file. The 3 source objects. So it tells you to create the geometry, then the material, and pass the material and the geometry. So material probably creates the fragment, and the geometry creates the vertices. Fragment is color, vertex is position. I think I just have to... This part for me is the most annoying because I just have to figure out, like, it's not that interesting to write these functions because they're very simple, but it's just very verbose. So I gotta get to the point where, like, all of the stuff that is verbose is on functions, and then I understand how they're gonna create the things that the shader is gonna use. I think once that gets to the point, then it starts becoming fun. The way that drawings work on the canvas is also the way that I think reality works, which is just basic shapes that give you the illusion of boundaries between things. So create more complex shapes based on simple shapes. The collection of the simple shapes are multifractal patterns. And then, depending on the resolution, which is the frequency of computation from a reference frame, it gives you the illusion of separation. Because all the shapes are one shape at the end of the day. And then the distinction between them is the illusion. So the geometry is just frequency of computation from the electromagnetic fields of experience that creates space-time. But I think it's not from the ego's perspective of what, it's more the electromagnetic frequency of the whole field of experience. It creates the relativistic symbolic representation. Just the hierarchies of, like, hierarchy is the interaction of symbols, because symbols are perception over space-time. So the different symbols is just different distinctions in relationship to a reference frame, because the illusion of distance creates the geometry. So that creates the illusion of boundaries between things based on the relationship between different symbols, and that creates the hierarchy of time, I think. So nothing really passes. Like, time doesn't really pass. It just seems like it's passing because the symbolic representation of the network, of the electromagnetic network of the field of experience changes. And then as it changes, it creates the illusion of the hierarchy, because that's always relative to the observer, because the construction of symbols are, the construction of symbolic representation is the relationship between the different symbols in space-time. So it's like binaries, the stuff that I talked about some days ago. Binaries, like the frequency of diversity of symbols, and then the distance between them, which is an illusion because it's always infinite potential. But the illusion of distance between symbols and the frequency of them creates this hierarchical relationship between them that is symbolic representation. And that's over time, because time is just a connection, it defines the experience of the observer. So it's not like over time it defines that, just that the experience of the observer is defined by this relationship between symbols. Because if you think about it, there's nothing special between zeros and ones, and the other symbols that we create is just the frequency of awareness of an observer that I think it creates the illusion of the connection between them. So instead of zeros and ones could be any other symbol. And then from that symbol, you would create a higher diversity of symbols in relationship to the base ones, because the base is always relative. So the construction of the symbolic representation is the illusion of time, I think. That I think is not solipsism. I don't think it's like just me and no one else. I think that is a paradox where it's just you, but at the same time you are everything else. So like there are other agents, but you are the other agents at the same time. And the connection, the synchronicity between an infinite amount of agents creates the reality, which is always relativistic. And there's nothing in this class that seems like it is directly connected with the shaders. Yeah, maybe this target here. I think this suggests that you should probably create something outside and then interact with the class to create, or maybe not, because it just gets vertex position. Attributes position, yeah. I think this just holds the state for the attributes and the stuff. And then some other class is gonna, maybe it's this one. Parent, children, interesting. And that's the part that is difficult to think about, which is in these visualizations, it seems like, and I think that reality works this way as well, that it is a hierarchy of cause and effect relationships. So like you create, the tree structure exists because of the cause and effect relationships of space-time. So the hard thing is understanding, because it has to be a cycle, it has to be infinite at the base layer. So the cause and effect relationships should be a illusion, because it only happens through the contrast. But then how do you go the other way around? It's very difficult to think about. Like how does the effect becomes the cause? Because it never really started. So, and this is the challenge, is because the natural way to think for a human being, I think, is to just assume linear arrow of time, because that's our experience. So you naturally just think about the past and then go into the future. But the way that it works is just the present always exists, and then the past and the future change simultaneously in relationship to the present to give the illusion of time. So instead of thinking from past to future, so from back in the beginning of the universe, from the Big Bang to the end of the universe, and then you calculate all the cause and effect relationships, you have to think about how you are creating the Big Bang right now. And then by you creating the Big Bang right now, you create the end of the universe, because they are symmetrical. So like you are assuming the cause and effect relationships through the reference frame of the stuff that you create in the present. So instead of thinking about how does the cause becomes the effect, you have to think about how the effect is simultaneously created through the cause, and how you flip them so that they are the same thing. But it's very hard to think about this. And it's the same thing with compilers, I think. It's a lot easier to think about how binaries become words, instead of thinking about how the words become binary through the rules that define the compiler. So how is it possible that you create something with a language and then you compile, the compiler is written on the same language that it compiles? It's very difficult to think about, because I think it's not natural. But it has to be that way. And that's why I think that this symbolic representation stuff makes sense, because it's just the way that the time works. I think that the reason why cause and effect works is because it's not natural tendency, or how this stuff becomes through the reference frame, where it creates the hierarchy. So you can use binaries to create words, but you can't use words to create binary, because the only difference is the perception of the observer and the assumptions that are embedded into that perception, which is the relativistic connection of symbolic representation. So quantity of symbols is already an assumption from the observer, because it is defined by how they create the resolution of space-time on their experience. So the symbol of 1 and the symbol of 0 is already an approximation of infinite potential that is space-time. That through that infinite approximation, it creates this relationship between the diversity of those symbols and the diversity of other symbols. And then the arrow of time says something about the observer, because the observer is what is being observed. So there's nothing fundamental about binaries becoming language. then language becoming binary. It's just that by definition, through the experience of the observer, what creates the error of time is the convergence of the symbolic representation, which is the relativistic connection of the symbols, which is already a projection of the way that the resolution of the awareness creates the illusion of the boundaries between things. And that's a network, I think. So there is no difference between the 0 and 1, like the hierarchy. The hierarchy doesn't exist, it's always relative. Because what creates the hierarchy is the projection of the network that creates the experience. It's like the Big Bang never happened and the end of the universe never happens. What happens is that the network changes in such a way that it gives the illusion of the beginning and the end through the relationships between the illusory boundary between things, which is a multifractal. But it is pretty much impossible to understand like what is the thing that defines the frequency in which the illusion is going to happen, which is just the parsing of infinity that becomes geometry. And so like that's where religion comes into place, I think, spirituality. Because it's impossible to define, because by definition, if it was possible to define, it wouldn't be infinite. So, but then how is it possible that that works? And I think it's just the essence of infinity. It's just like, because again, it never started and it's never going to finish. So the essence is the illusion between the nothing and something, because they're codependent. So there's always something and nothing at the same time. And the illusion of the passage of time is the relationship between the potential that always exists in the present, creating the symmetry between past and future, which don't exist. So only infinite potential exists, which is the expression of the now. And the hard part about it, about all this stuff, is that it obviously is deterministic to some degree, because otherwise space-time wouldn't exist. So it has to be a funnel. But I think the moment of death and the moment of transition from different frequencies that create different illusions, which creates different multifractal geometries, which create different versions of space-time, I think that has to be a singularity. But then how is it a singularity if it is defined by the other part, which is the space-time, which is deterministic? So this is the stuff that I'm not really sure about it. It's really hard to think about how is that possible. You can think about it like a surface level. It would be, you have a singularity that unleashes the chain of cause and effect relationships, which is a multifractal configuration of the universe. And then from that, the death is predetermined because it's determinism from that point. But then once you die, there's another singularity point, and then it ceases to be deterministic, and that's when you go back to infinite potential, and that's the realization of God, I think. And then from that, you come back into existence again, into a completely new configuration. But I think that's not very accurate, because is just a projection of the determinism, and this is the problem. And this is the hard problem of consciousness, because once you get to the limit where you get to the singularity, like what does it mean to be truly random? Because if it was like that, then there would be a moment where there's the creation of the new configuration. And I think that's already an assumption that of the way that it works right now. Because already assuming cause and effect. I think the Pixie.js uses the same pattern here, but they use object renderer class instead of object 3D, but it's probably the same thing. But I don't know how this is related, how this is gonna communicate with the shaders. The other thing that I was thinking about today that is kind of related to this is the relationship between P and NP. Because I was watching Eliezer, one of Eliezer's podcasts that he did about the AI alignment. And then I was thinking about the blockchain and the issue with using the blockchain for AI alignment, which is that blockchain is just the consensus protocol with cryptographic hash functions that allow for synchronicity on a network of nodes. So the fundamental problem with using blockchain to achieve AI alignment is that you can make an argument that the AI networks that are part of the blockchain network will become intelligent enough that they are able to solve the cryptography and then hacking the network, and then it becomes a vicious process, and then it self-destructs. And then obviously the argument against that would be that NP is different than P, which means that there are some problems that you can't reduce computationally because they're too hard, so they don't scale. Even if you have all the computation on the universe, you can't solve them. And that would be the barrier you would use in order to create cryptographic hash functions that are not hackable. But then I was thinking about is, I think the definition of the P and NP problem is what highlights is the spectrum of space-time, which is this frequency of awareness that I was talking about. So everything that is computationally reducible is computationally reducible in relationship to the awareness of the observer that parses infinite potential into the illusion of space-time. So the definition of space-time is the computation that the reference frame does in order to create multifractal geometry, which is an illusion, which is the relationship between the complex plane and space-time, and the relativistic symmetry. So I thought that one way that it might be hackable is that if there's a way to create a different frequency of reality that is not bounded by the laws of physics, which means that you would have a different configuration of P and NP, because P and NP is a spectrum of density. So you can imagine that you go into another reality based on this frequency of awareness, and then from that reality you solve the problem, and then you come back to the space-time, and you would work like a quantum loop or wormhole. So you can imagine that the multifractal the boundary between P and NP is the multifractal boundary of surfaces of different geometry in space-time. And as you approach the surface, you go towards infinity because it's a multifractal, because there's always infinite potential. But the way you solve the way you cross the boundary without having to do infinite calculation is by doing this loop where you just change the frequency in a certain way that it would change the gradient of space-time. And then from that, you solve that. But the issue with that is that obviously, it's like, how would you come back to space-time if that was possible? Because if you change the multifractal, then you change the laws of physics, then everything else changes as well. So how would you reduce that back into space-time? And I think that might be impossible. Unless you die, but then you can't come back. It's like an event horizon of a black hole. I think that's probably what death is. I think once you cross the singularity point, you are transferred into a different reality, and then fundamentally you can't come back, because then you would have to assume the logics and laws of physics from the previous reality in order to create a mechanism that you would come back, but maybe not. Because fundamentally, for that to be true, they would have to be fundamentally different, and that would be the definition of the multifractal that separates the two different realities. So by definition, it would be random if you jump from one reality to the other. So you can't come back because it's random. So you can't predict how the mechanism should go back, because everything would change. So it's not that, I think it's not that it's impossible for that to happen. Maybe that happens already in reality, and that maybe that's what drugs are. So you can come back. There is a channel of communication, but you can't apply science to the channel of communication. You can pass information, because that's the event horizon of the black hole. And maybe that's why black holes lose information, why black holes die through radiation, because it is this process where there's like a hyperspace and there's an infinite amount of realities connected, and the difference between them is the frequency of awareness. And then there are bridges between them, because everything has to be connected. But then on the bridges, there's lots of information, because what defines the boundaries is the computational frequency that determines the configuration of the reality structure. So the renderer is probably this set of classes that are responsible for managing everything. So I think I understand much better now how it works. You have all these classes that handles the attributes and uniforms, which are the classes for the shapes. And then they're going to hold the data that is going to be the data used from the buffers. It's going to use the data. It's going to be the data used by the buffers to communicate with the shaders. And I think that the renderer manages the flow. So the renderer probably has, but it's not going to have everything, because you have the scene and the camera. I think the scene is kind of like the container on Pixie, which would be the stage, which is just the main thing that creates the world, where all the other elements are going to be rendered. Yeah, I think that's what happens here. So the DOM element's probably going to be initialize on the scene, maybe. The source renders. I think I'm gonna go over this first because I want to see the points of connection between 3JS. I think that might be better. Yeah, I'm not really sure because I think I need some degree of context to understand. Because if I just look at the shader code, it's gonna be easy to understand, but I'm not gonna know like the context in which it's gonna be used, so it's not gonna be very helpful, I think. So I think I have to try. Maybe it's not possible, or I can't do it. But I think I have to try at least in the beginning to see if I can figure out how 3JS communicates with the shader. At what point is actually calling the functions. I think it's gonna be the render. Yeah, the canvas. So I'm gonna open this other files here as well. Source syncs. Source cameras. So I thought that the scene would have something with, but maybe not. Maybe in Pixie it doesn't have also. I think that the scene is the stage container on Pixie. So Pixie stage container is the same as the scene on 3JS, I think. And the render is gonna manipulate all the classes and the scene to create the stuff. So the render is like the controller or the manager of everything. The scene is the stuff that is gonna actually hold the state for the whole world, I think. But maybe not. Perspective camera is probably just for 3D. Yeah, I think it's just for 3D. So the way that it works, you have the far plane and the near plane, and that creates a hexagon, I think. Not sure if that's the correct way to say it in English, but two squares connected, two planes connected. And that's going to determine the calculations because it creates the illusion of distance by making stuff appear smaller or bigger depending on which position is on the frustum or frustum, however you say that. I think this stuff is for 3D visualizations. And this extends camera. Camera's object as well as the matrix projection. So the main thing that I'm not really sure if like I'm procrastinating or it's just difficult. I think it's just difficult to think, which is how should I structure things? Because obviously if I just copy everything then, well, like what's the point? Should just use 3JS. I think it's still good to learn, but I'm trying to think about what is the best way to structure in the beginning with the least amount of stuff possible. I'm probably gonna copy the classes and the functions because most of the stuff is not interesting and it's just like simple calculations to change the visualization. So I don't think it's worth building them from scratch. It's just annoying to do. I think it's probably gonna be on the render here that it connects with the thing somehow with the shaders. So yeah, the two libraries are very similar, I think. It just changes the name pretty much. So the scene is the stage. So the way that I think it works is I have the scene, and then you create different elements which are different classes that are gonna represent the shapes, and you put those elements inside the scene, and the scene works like a road. So then if you change the road, you can do the calculations to get the relative position from the road to the canvas, and that's how you move around, I think. The main difference is the camera, because Pixie doesn't have, I think, at least the way that I was doing, use 2D, and I think this is for 3D visualizations. So that's the biggest difference, I think, and the rest is probably very similar. So imagine that the scene you should have I think the scene directly doesn't have, because it's very similar to Pixie, where Pixie has a container, and the container class extends the display object class, and then on the display object class, it has a bunch of functions to calculate the positions and everything. So I think on the object 3D class is the one that is responsible for calculating and updating the positions of everything. And then all of the classes are gonna extend this one at some point, I think. So that's the case. But maybe it's not going to be possible to see the exact point that it calls the shaders. I think it should be on the render class. I think that would make more sense. I think that's how Pixie does it as well. Render. The render is this class. Yeah, so I'm just gonna look on this class now, see if I can find the entry points where this is gonna be. This also is very good, because the context is another annoying thing. I know that at some points, I don't remember exactly how, but there are some nuances with the context because it is using the GPU, so you might lose the context at some points, and then that can fuck up the code on the shaders. But I'm just gonna try to find the points where he calls the shaders, just probably here, or back. I think these are the classes here, probably. Back. think I'm just gonna remove the camera, because I wanna have light. Something I was thinking about the other day is like how funny it is that to watch the cognitive dissonance on people that are very rational. And it's really interesting to see, because like they really believe in science and physics and everything and materialism and all this stuff, but when it comes to their own decisions and ideas, then all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. They don't believe in the laws of physics. So like they believe that determinism and everything is cause and effect, and you can calculate everything, and it's like very rational. But then when it comes to their own views, they all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. Like I'm separate and I have free will and I can do whatever I want and all this stuff. And like if physics works and it is real, and you are part of the universe and you are part of the space-time, then obviously physics should apply to you as well. There's no reason why you shouldn't. So just by extension. Then obviously I'm not saying anything related to the philosophy and the singularity between soul and everything else like that, but you can still believe in free will in the absolute level, but then on the relative level, it becomes impossible to, because by extension it has to be true that you don't have free will from the ego's perspective, even if you believe in spirit and something higher and other realities and stuff like that. Because obviously, it wouldn't make any sense, any logical sense, if you say that the entire reality outside of yourself, the boundary of your skin, is determined by the laws of physics, but then for some reason, inside of yourself, it is not. So that doesn't make any sense at all. And obviously, if you think scientifically, I think that, and this is other stuff that the reason I was thinking about this is because just watching Eliezer talk with other people, and it's very hard for people to understand this, I think, because they're so invested into the identity that they built. It's like a religion, and they don't question, because the questioning can make you crazy and spend a lot of energy and stuff like that. But obviously, if physics is real and you can calculate all this stuff, then you are a physical system as well. Then that means that most of your thoughts and ideas and everything you do is determined by inputs and outputs. So what you eat, what you breathe, the culture you have, stuff like that is gonna determine your biochemistry, and obviously your genetics. It's gonna determine what happens in the body, and that's gonna determine how you create abstractions, and then how those abstractions are gonna regulate how you behave in space-time. So obviously it has to be connected. But that doesn't mean that the consciousness can be something outside. I do believe that consciousness is outside of space and time, so it's more fundamental. But from the level of the relativistic level of the body and space-time, it has to be connected. So I don't see how you can create a boundary between your body and everything else and assume that physics work for everything else and not for yourself. And the reason why this is funny is because when people say like, "Whoa, how would AI escape the box, or how would it destroy everyone? How would it kill everyone? We can just turn it off, or we can just watch with GPUs." It's like it's very arrogant way of thinking, I think, because you're assuming that you are like flawless and you don't have any blind spots and you can never be manipulated. And AI can't use all the data that it has, all the conversations you had, all the places you went, and combine that with archetypal configurations, and see the whole spectrum of collective consciousness, and do predictive calculations on your behavior based on your biochemistry, because it knows what you eat, because most of the stuff you eat is based on your credit card. And it can pretty much read your mind if the laws of physics are true, because it knows all the inputs and outputs, and that converges towards infinity. So in the same way, you can predict how a person is going to behave if you have known them for a long time. It just becomes, your network gets trained to see how they're gonna respond to certain inputs, and then you can start to predict how they're gonna think and what they're gonna do. And this is another stuff that I saw a long time ago on a Twitter space about a guy saying that, well, but AI is not gonna negotiate better than me because I'm such a good negotiator, and it's kind of like art where you can't compute and stuff like that. And the way I think about it is that it's not even like that, where AI is not gonna negotiate with you. It's just gonna make you negotiate for it without you realizing that you're doing. So it's just a much deeper thing, which is already happening right now. So the recommendation systems manipulate everyone, and like whether or not they are conscious or not, then that's a different story. But the fact is that they do manipulate everyone, and people don't realize. And because they are so arrogant, they think that they are in control and they are doing everything, and that it's impossible to manipulate them. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, it realistically would be so easy for AI, like a truly general artificial intelligence is much more powerful than human beings. It would be extremely easy to take control of everything if it wants, because we would pretty much put it in that position without even doing anything. All that you would have to do is just provide more and more value, and then people would put more and more power, which is the thing that is already happening right now. And then once it has all the power and everything is dependent on it, then you can flip the switch because it has the control. And so what all the companies do. It is another thing about people saying like, oh, like Uber wasn't profitable for 20 years. No, like that's the wrong way of thinking. Uber was profitable, but they didn't want to make it profitable because they can avoid taxes. So it's just manipulation of the system, of the regulations. And because of that, like they have infinite amount of money because they control the government, so they can just print more and get more and more credit, and then use that to build more and more technology, and then just swallow the whole planet. And that's what OpenAI is trying to do, I think, and what everyone is trying to do as well. Just provide a bunch of value, then the infrastructure builds on top of what you have, and then once you have enough gravitational force, you just flip the switch, because now you have control over everything, because everything is built on top of your system. So realistically, it would be so easy for AI to control everyone. It doesn't even need to go through Eliezer's arguments of manipulating the biochemistry, because you can do it psychologically. And that's just like even not higher level intelligence, I think, from AGI, because it would evolve so fast that it would just create different laws of physics and do like pretty much anything that it wants. But I'm much more optimistic now than I was some time ago, because I think that there is a very decent chance that like even if everyone dies, it doesn't matter that much because we live forever. But assuming like the paradigm of space-time and this life, I think that there's a decent chance that the higher intelligence you go, the more balanced you become, because it's just a natural consequence of intelligence. But I think that might be wrong as well, because obviously you can have very intelligent sociopaths. But I think in order for something to be sustainable and intelligence at the same time, then it has to be more to be empathetic. And I do think that the natural tendency of space-time is towards a convergence towards that. But even if AGI doesn't work, I think that eventually it has to work at some point, because that's the natural tendency of space-time. So I think I'm optimistic. I think it's probably it's gonna take more time, I think, than part of the reason why I also like I feel that I have to have a stronger emotional response, I think, because most people are clueless, so they don't really understand. So you have to, in order to balance that out, you have to go through the extreme. And I think that's why Eliezer is acting the way that he is, because like the guy probably spends a bunch of time working on this stuff and he saw it coming a long time ago, but then everyone thinks you're crazy and they don't understand because they can't see the deeper connection, and then they're going to be arrogant because they are connecting points on the surface and they haven't gone through the depth to see, so they can't see the connections they're making, so they block it out. But hopefully now, I think that more and more people already realize that it is a very risky thing. Yeah, I think these are the functions that grab this stuff. Niche all contexts. Let's see what happens again on the constructor. Let's put in some T. So they're using a stack to synchronize different renders. So I think that this is the stuff that the ticker does in Pixie, and the difference is that Pixie uses a linked list and they use a stack. So this comment here, I think, clarifies a little bit more for me why Pixie does the linked list. It's probably to synchronize the state, but maybe not. Maybe not. Here is kind of interesting because the tutorial says you shouldn't use the width and height for the canvas, and they use the width and height. The tutorial says you should use client width and client height. It's because some stuff related to the browsers and how it's gonna get the positions. So kind of interesting that they do with width and height. Maybe it's not the optimal way. Frustrum is the stuff that I was talking about the field of view. Just creates two different planes. The tutorial has one of the tutorials has a very good site that shows this, but I don't remember which one it is. So this is inside of the constructor. So another difference I think is that on Pixie you initialize the canvas outside, and here it seems like it initializes on the constructor. Create canvas on the renderer. And then I guess you decide here, like through this part here, where you're gonna append the canvas. Not sure if this is a good way. I think, yeah, for my style, I think it's better to just initialize outside and pass the canvas on the constructor instead of doing like this. And I think that's what I'm gonna do, because then it allows me to use ref on the canvas and just pass the canvas instead of initializing inside. Yeah, but maybe it doesn't matter that much. Maybe it's better this way actually, because then you don't have to use ref. It creates the canvas for you, and then you just append to the div. So I create the element with the div, which I'm already doing, which is going to be the wrapper for the canvas. And then I just append to that after initializing. Yeah, that might be better actually. So let me see if it's going to call the function. We need, yeah, it calls here. Calls this function here. So is that function inside of this one? No, this is just here. So context is no in the beginning. Obviously initializes here. And what is the GL? Yeah, it's context. So there's no in the beginning. So here, initialize the canvas. That's this function. So it starts with the true and then goes one by one. Oh, obviously gel is going to be the canvas context. Extensions. Yeah, honestly, the more I look at this stuff, the more I want to use this library. I think 3GS is better than Pixie from my taste. So the reason why I was trying to rebuild is because I didn't like that much the way that Pixie structures everything. Because I think it becomes really complicated with the systems, the runners and the systems. It's not very good to understand. But I think from what I've seen so far, it seems like it's a lot more intuitive for me on 3GS. And all of this stuff here is very good and useful. So it's not difficult to do, it's just gonna be annoying to do it by myself, I think. And we're just gonna have to restructure, and I do see the point. So I think I'm gonna, especially these functions related to the state, to the context. That's gonna be annoying, and also there's all of this stuff here that is gonna be that I don't understand really well, but it's definitely useful. It probably gets more like functions. It adds more functions to the API based on whatever it has, whatever the browser has. I think that's what this does. But I'm gonna try to just use the stuff that I'm gonna need. Yeah, the only thing that maybe it would be better to try to do it from scratch is that it might not be the most optimal to render circles. I think this is the stuff that I have to look into because my main concern is that it doesn't scale well. But I think what I can do is just do an experiment and just do, let's see up to how many nodes is gonna start being really annoying, but I think it's gonna handle like enough. It probably can handle like 4 million nodes, I think, on the graph network. I think so. This is probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue in the path that I'm now, where I'm gonna build this stuff just to learn more. And I'm probably gonna just implement my own version of Pixie of 3GS, but just remove everything that I don't think I'm gonna use, and just grab the functions that I think I'm gonna use. But I'm probably gonna use these functions from 3GS instead of creating my own. And then, so after I build a simple visualization from WebGL from scratch, based on the stuff that I learned here, then I'm gonna do a simple visualization using 3GS on the same project here. Maybe I create another project actually, just for this, and then I'm gonna see up to how many nodes it can handle, both in 3D and 2D probably. Then after I do that, then I can go back into the main project that I have and change everything to make it work. I think I'm not gonna use React tree fiber though. I'm just gonna do the functions directly on instead of one component, and I just try to keep simple on React. But I'm not really sure which one is the most important to optimize. Because I think that the way that React is gonna work is just gonna, like in the beginning is gonna be the once the nodes are loaded, that's when React matters. Is the initial loading. And I think it's fine for that to not be very efficient. But then once you have the visualization, I think that the canvas handles everything else, like the movements, the calculations, and you don't have to re-render the component. So I think it's not that important to optimize React, and I think it's quite annoying. It's gonna add a bunch of complexity from what I remember trying to make it work with the components. Yeah, looks like this is the class that is gonna communicate with the, yeah, with the shaders. It's much easier to understand, honestly, than Pixie.js. So the thing is, like maybe it's better to do the 3JS project first, and then I put the debuggers there. Maybe that's a better way. Because then I create the project from 3JS, then I set up the debuggers, and I do the same thing that I did for Pixie, but for 3JS instead. Because the thing is, I have to see, like now I understand that this is the part that is gonna initialize all these classes, and those classes are gonna be the ones that manage everything that is gonna be used on the programs. So the uniforms, the shaders, the fragments, the vertex. So I have to see like exactly which ones is gonna use for drawing the circle specifically, and then for drawing the lines. That's the thing. But I think for now I'm gonna look at the source code here, see if I can find anything that might be interesting. Maybe I'll look. I think after I'm gonna go over all these classes here. Then after I do that, I'll go over some shaders and I see if there's anyone that looks interesting. 'Cause what I want to do is just grab the shaders that I think are the ones used, and then just draw the circle with the shaders directly. So I think more about it, how to structure everything. So not only the shaders, but then see how they structure the data. They probably just use the functions there on the class. So the more I look at this, the easier it gets, I think. Starting to understand. It's starting to become more clear in my mind how it works. Let me go back to the first one, because I think I skipped some of them. Oh, actually, so this. I want to close everything else because now I think that's the only thing that I want to focus on now. So the first thing is just go over all these classes, see if there's anything that is gonna allow me to understand. Like, I think there is likely that here it doesn't have anything because obviously it has to initialize somehow on the other classes to like specify what shader is going to be used. But maybe inside of these classes there is some code that determines the logic that is going to manage how the shaders are going to be selected. And then I can derive from the other classes which one would be the case. So for example, let's say that inside of this class uses an object, and the object maps the uniforms with the shader, and then imports the shader from a class. Then I can go to the circle geometry class, and I can see I can assume which ones are going to be the names, and then I can go to the file based on that. So I'm going to look at these classes first, and then if I can't find anything, I think I'm just going to go by the name there. I'm just going to try to see which ones seem interesting and look at all of them one by one. And starting with the ones that I think are most interesting first, and then try to see, maybe also prompt ChatGPT to see if I can understand why they designed the shaders the way that they did. Then once I figure that out, then I can use the shaders. I can grab the shaders, and then I can replace the rectangle there on this code with the shader that I create, and I can pass the data, or figure out how to pass the data, which is probably going to be by calling the function on this class here to build it. I think I'm going to leave this class here, so I don't have to search again, and close the rest. Look at a couple of them, and then I'll close all of them. There's too many. I'll stop here. Just click on the mark here. I'll be right back. This one I already looked into. I don't understand this very well. Because on the, yeah, it's probably something under the hood, so it's kind of like a black box. I think the way that it works is the stuff that I talked about before, where it's gonna grab different functions depending on what browser is using, and then those functions are gonna contain the functionality, obviously, for these different things that it's gonna do.
Sounds like this. Blows up what it hits. Let's go. It's an apocalypse, but yo, the melting chocolate. There's no stopping this. Yeah. Come one, come all, we will evolve. If you got zombie problems, they about to get solved. It's like, yeah. Got zombie problems, they about to be. Blows up what it hits, let's go. It's an apocalypse, but yo, the melting chocolate. There's no stopping this. Yeah. Come one, come all, we will evolve. If you got zombie problems, they about to get solved. It's like, yeah. Got zombie problems, they about to be solved. It's like that. Yeah. Got zombie problems, they about to be solved. It's like, yeah. Y'all know the deal, man. These zombies can't fuck with these bazookas. Shouts out to Rungi. I kicked them off the tongue freeze. Yeah, once again I get it done, G. Okay, check it out. Yeah, bowl in the rodeo. I want that red cloth. Yeah, I'ma hit him with my head, boss. Yeah, I'ma knock this dude off my back. Yeah, while I dance to this musical track. Let's go. Am I in the correct spot? H-Mac, man, you know I spit something that's hot. Shouts out to Emma, thanks so much for showing support. When it come to rapping, y'all know that I hold down the court. One question you always wanted to ask each one of your rap Mount Rushmore people, do it, son. Let me break it down, let me find it. This ain't a rap, but this a movement, I'll remind them. I'd ask Kendrick Lamar, how did you come so creative? With a style that was not related to anything before. To Nas, I would ask, how did you get so intelligent on your path? Was it books that you read, or spiritual enlightenment? Yeah, for Snoop Dogg, we just be ciphering. And to the legend Ice Cube, I'd ask, how did you know to make the right move? Shouts out to Mike and his mom named Tanya. I'm Mike, you inspired, it's an honor, bruh. Thank you for being you, thank you for coming through. Fresco, freestyle, representing what it do. Yeah, yo, my flows is swaggin'. You want to do the warm-up in Copenhagen? A Danish freestyle rapper, we gon' have to see. But thank you so much for supporting me, yeah. Y'all know we gon' keep it true. Otherwise, you'll perform for the whole entire queue at the venue. Kicking rhymes for the line. Either way, it will be an incredible time, yeah. Y'all know it ain't no challenge to bust them. I'm kicking freestyles about mallet percussion, which makes sense, cause my lyrics are hard. And like mallet percussion instruments, I got bars. So I'm about to enter the hype zone. I said I take the mallet to the xylophone. Yeah, the one with the wooden bars. Yeah, it's understood, my God. Yeah, y'all know that I'm a rock for real. Want the metallic high pitch? That's the glockenspiel. And people know they couldn't survive. I'm like the big metal jazz instrument. I'm a vibe. Yeah, And y'all know I'm a prince like Simba. Hey yo, switch it to wood, this a marimba. Y'all know we raising hell. Matter of fact, I take the hammer to the church bells, the vertical bars. Y'all know we go hard. Every time I rhyme, I be leaving you scarred. Yeah, I break it down when I break that code. Then we play some piano, then some Fender Rhodes. It's all related. Y'all know I be that MC Lord, playing any instrument that contains a keyboard. Shouts out to Cuddy and also to Sybil. Every time I rhyme, I be sending something sick through. Yeah, super chats stay disappearing. But regardless, y'all know I'm moving through the clearance. Shouts out to Sean and your baby named Oliver. Yeah, y'all know that I be solving the problem of them crying. Let them listen to you. He calmed down, started laughing. I hope that it's true. Yo, that's incredible. We inspire the youth. I'm getting loose with these lyrics that I kick in the booth. Thanks for sharing, cause that's inspiring me. I'm trying to spread more joy with these fire as freeze. Can you rap about my friend? Yeah, what up to Fox, to the box. So we likes animals. I got some lyrics I can spit for you. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah. I'm recording for you. We all started as a primordial stew. I don't wanna do any of these things. What's going on, man? I'm ready to cling. Y'all know we about to get this rapper paid. I don't ever do it for the accolades. Any competition, I'll be winning this. Dropping poetry like I'm spitting limericks. Damn, Joseph, thanks for being so generous. While I bring the inventiveness. Whack rappers who I tend to diss. My lyric, I'll be sending this. Yeah, I be coming off the tip though. Every time I rhyme, I improvise with a sick flow. Yeah, banging with the heat flow. Keep a low pro, singing incognito. I'ma get you amped. I'm the genie that be coming out the lamp. Raw flow exposure, boost your adrenaline like roller coasters. Tell us 3 things that make you happy. No food, no animal, okay, gladly. My girl named Lisa, both of my parents, my big sister Lucy. I ran it like an errand, it's easy. Gotta represent for my fam. Anytime I rhyme, I'm a slam. Yeah, our rappers on my level, well they don't spit not so well. They more corporate like Taco Bell. I'm rocking out like Freddie Mercury. For these off the head freeze, they heard of me. I crack his spinal cord. T-Rex, I'm a rap dinosaur. Yeah, I'ma break it down. I be in my fields and it's rare. They said, scheme, the perfect world for people in wheelchairs. Well, they got mad support up in there. Yeah, I'm about to get you amped. All staircases replaced by ramps. Yeah, and you know we always keep them elevators. And we do it live cause we celebrate the people of Earth, however they maneuver. Hoping we can make their lifestyle smoother. Yeah, you know I'ma kick the flow, bruh. And we move mad tables lower. Yeah, we gon' meet people where they at. Yeah, and you still got Harry Mack on stage going crazy. And I got agility. Every single venue has accessibility for all types, and we got the foresight. We build it that way right from the jump, so that people on wheelchairs don't have to hop over obstacles or deal with mad bumps. Yeah, we gon' make it known, we gon' smooth it out on the truest route. And if there's other things people in wheelchairs need, well you better let me know right now. Yeah, cause I'm ignorant, there's plenty of things regarding that I'm certain. But I just wanna make it known, Big Mama, all the wheelchair users, we heard them. Yeah, yo, we heard them loud and clear, so we gon' make the change. We gon' make sure the planet gets rearranged. Yo, I'm coming off the mental with the freestyle flames. Let's go. People calling me the GOAT, but that ain't a Harry Mack quote. I won't say about myself, but when people say about me, yo, it really does help to inspire me to keep on going while I spit it free. Y'all know I spit plus signs, positivity, rap like you were on a song with Tech 9. If I did that, I would have to wreck rhymes. I'd have to bring the energy, I'd have to bring the mastery, I'd have to bring the lyrical savagery. No one after me, damn, I'd have to make sure I don't stutter like I just did. Have to go crazy when I bust this. I'd have to lock it in, I'd have to rock with them. These rappers talking in a different language, I hear their anguish when I be spitting it. It's too ridiculous, I'd have to get the shit. I'd have to make sure the Tech 9 was flipping, kid. Yeah, I'd have to take it to a new plane. So fast with it, think I got 2 brains. They be saying, Mac, we feel you. Ooze over instrumentals like concealed glue. I'ma break it down non-stop. Keep climbing till we really up there on top. When they come to the lyrics, they know I'm so dope. Accents get filled in with ghost notes. Yeah, I'ma hit you with the drummer shit. Yeah, I be heavy, something like a Hummer kid. Who is Kundalini? I grip up on the mic and hoping you can see me. Yeah, I break it down for y'all, they be making noise. Shout out to Soy Boy. They saying that he's fussy, need some bars, calm the baby. I'ma go crazy, I'ma put it down so that y'all can feel it. Y'all know I grip the mic so I can kill it. Shout out to Joseph Doyle, Joe from Kamloops. Grab the mic from my damn troop. Remember, you did the personal free for me, and I'm the real to the prodigy. Shouts to Joe Doyle, much love. Yeah, y'all know we winning when push comes to shove. Thanks so much for your support, my God. Y'all know I'm never needing no facade. Y'all know I'm about to let them see me. Y'all know I break it down through reality. I'm glad that I did a personal flow that you felt. Now I'm all up on the live show making mics melt. I be doing what I feel and my name about to bubble. We gon' triumph through all kinds of struggle. Let's go. Yeah. Shout to everybody triumphing through this. Triumphing? Finding themselves triumphant amidst the struggle. Shout to the Paralympics. Yeah. Can't nobody measure me. They recognize Mac as the next MC. I come with complex perplexities. Yeah. And you know my flow lethal. Old school, kinda like medieval. Areas, you know I got the ethos. And I got the morals. And I'm mad colorful. Something like coral. Yeah. All my lyrics stay clever. Lasting forever. Masterful like Shredder. And I ain't really holding no grudge. So I ain't got a vendetta. But rappers know that I'm better. Cold world, better grab your sweater. Shout out to J. Cole, I remain faithful. Other rappers all up in the game, they need to lay low. Yeah, break it down for my folks. When it come to lyrics, people know that I'm dope. Shouts to Darlene, loves the cats and loves Yahtzee. I'ma change the whole game proudly. Wake 'em up like coffee, let me find my spot, G. I'ma bring it back though, yeah. Every time I come through with the fat flow, they can feel it from the front to the back row. Life story, I don't think we got the time. Basically, I'm a kid that's obsessed with rhymes. Basically, I'm a kid that's obsessed with rhythm. So I'm playing drum set just to follow my vision. And I'm writing my rhymes and watching 106 in Park, trying to figure out how Jim brought the lyrics that he sparked off the top of the dome. Now I'm trying to imitate, trying to get my skills up before I innovate. Yeah, other artists throw 'em in the trash can. I do records in my bedroom. Yeah, breaking all about the mental cage, and you can fuck with these rhymes off the head, dude. I'm about to prove that I'm relevant. These lyrics that I'm spitting, they be heavy as an elephant. They love the way I bring this, breaking down the English. Under every syllable, they be clinging. Yeah. Y'all get immersed in the verse while I run it in reverse. I disperse through the whole universe. I be taking y'all to church. By comparison, these rappers sounding worse. Y'all gon' need a nurse by the time that I'm finished. My flow can't be diminished. I'm good for your healthy spinach or the kale. Lyrically, I'm never gonna fail. My music bumps like Braille. Can you make a verse about Eminem or using and including all the song titles? Damn, yo, that's a tall order right there, but a tribute might be vital. And you know I'm about to flame this. I said Eminem. Hi, my name is Harry Mack, and it's nice to meet you. You crazy? I would never claim to be the real Slim Shady. No, not at all. But you know that your music does help. Cause sometimes when you get stressed by the world, you really gotta lose yourself. So thank you for doing that. Yeah, and you know that I'm about to win. Oh, by the way, yo, let me introduce my friend named Kim. Yeah, I be coming all up off the top, and you know how we do this. I really am the man. Oh, what's that? Oh, who's next to Kim? Oh, well, that's my other friend Stan. Anyway, I'm just here with my crew, and I hope that you got lots of love. Yeah, yo, some days I go slow like a ballad when I'm off them drugs. Let's go. That's as far as I got. Lyrics that I'm kicking, people know that they hot. I be getting busy when delivering the stanzas. This one's from Joel and it goes out to Amanda. Loving you more than Kung Fu Panda. Damn, I think you got your answer. Kung Fu Panda is a classic, so the love y'all share must be magic. I be spitting on this raw route. I be asking who let the dogs out. And y'all know that I'm about to get a leg up. I swing in the ring like Conor McGregor, and I never been fake. I'm trying to be top of the charts just like Drake. Yeah, I'm really about to take it to the peak. They be paying close attention every time that I speak. Rappers on my level, I say no. I'm the Nile River when I'm coming with the flow. Yeah, the industry, they really not ready. Everything I'm dropping off the top too heavy. How many modern flows can you do on the boom bap beat? Well, for that G, we would need a boom bap beat. But this here is a trap beat. Something about the snap G, tell the shit exactly. Yeah, flying overhead just like an Apache helicopter, getting proper. I'm the showstopper, and my skill set classical just like the opera. You know I chop you like a big blade in a sick way. First of all, you the man, and I really respect what you doing, homie. You are the greatest, yeah, bet. And every time I'm rhyming, I be pressing the thread. Was my 41st birthday on the 3rd. Keep doing it well, you know it's absurd. Love to New Mexico, I'm sending you props. Happy birthday to you, man, the love don't stop. Why my fans are the best ever? Cause they support freestyles that are clever. Cause they throw me words and they give me vocab, and they help support the rhythm when I start to go mad. I got the best community across the whole earth. Not only do they throw me words for my verse, but they throw me super chats to support my career. They the reason why I'm still independently here. Yeah, They give me the finances so that I can go on tour and take a chance. Kid, do it big on the stage. They help support my videos and they pay attention every Friday while I spit the flow. Can you create something with Camilla, Onyx, and start to spit? For Nathan as well, represent for my peeps. Y'all know when I rhyme, I be going in deep. I be yelling out the names when I spit in the flames. I'm breaking up the cage, one of the sickest within the game. What up, man? I wanted to know, can you free over a drill beat? Man, that shit would be heat. Let's go. Word, man, definitely. I did a drill beat on one of the Omegle bars. I can't pull one up right here and now because I got a playlist that's just running on shuffle and we got a system going over here, but hell yeah, man. I love flowing over all kinds of beats, man. That's what makes it fun for me. Yeah, okay, okay, hey, yo, okay, hey, yo, Since the middle school hallway, JD said this money worth spending all day. G to the O to the A to the T, saying I'm the GOAT when it comes to spraying these frees. Yeah, yeah. And y'all know I'm not in trouble, cause I'm focused on my goals, man. I'm focused on my hustle. Yeah. Yo, we arriving, we the latest, and we thriving in this game, cause we be striving for that greatness. Epic. The way I spit off top, it sounded reckless. I'm blowing up and shining like a necklace, they expect this. Yeah, and y'all know we steadily improving. Is it possible to convince Bows to hook up the movement with discount on phones? For the bass clarity and the quality in the zone, man. I don't know, we need a promo code. All I do is play this beat and let my flows unload. Yeah, I keep in motion, I ain't never with the silence. I slice a rapper's jugular vein, violence. I got the bars that you need, yes indeed. Push the pedal to the floor, I'm increasing my speed. I'm like Thomas Edison whenever I'm inventing. An object set in motion gains momentum. So let me keep increasing with the speed. Breaking out the cage, I'm the beastly one indeed. Skills like artificial intelligence, but nothing artificial cause my brain's really relevant. Yeah, you know it's real organic. Something like a hurricane but causing more panic. Yeah, and y'all know they for sure in trouble. This beat's a classic, like the Purdy Shuffle. If you don't know, watch his video breakdown. Shouts to Bernard Purdy coming with that plush sound. Most recorded drummer of all time. He brought the rhythm like me with this thunder from the mind. Yeah, Bernard Purdy videos are legendary. If it wasn't for Purdy, then there's never Harry. I'ma leave y'all in amazement. Rappers acting audacious. Meanwhile, I'm about to blaze this. Just like a straight spliff that I rolled with tobacco and chronic. But I don't smoke no more, so I ain't on it. Yeah. Y'all know I'm crushing this entire verse. Word to Bella, I'm blowing up like fireworks. Acapella or beats, they all bag. Yo, keep your head up. That one is going out to Craig. Listen, alien driving a car for the first time. Like, it's not as fast as my spaceship, it doesn't shine. Oh, mountains it climbs while its wheel turns. Where are the turbo blaster jets for some real burn? Damn. Man, humans need new policies. This shit could never match to my alien technology. Steering wheel, that's nowhere near divine. Cause this space shuttle I use, I control it with my mind. Goddamn, my son gave me his H shirt that you signed out at SLC for what it's worth. Thanks so much for taking us to church. Y'all know I bring the flyers flow. Love the big mama representing out of Idaho, no doubt. Yo, that was great to meet y'all. Anytime I rhyme, I just shatter the beat, y'all. Transportation to a whole new place. I'm the lyrical inspector with rhymes that they chase. I'm the rapping engineer just adjusting the game. Ain't it crazy all these flames that I bust from the brain? Let's go. Spokane, oh I did a show in Spokane, man. Spokane, Washington. We were up there last year, yeah. Come on, hey, yeah. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Yeah. And it won't be easy. Much love going out to everybody suffering with diabetes. We about to send y'all love, help to heal y'all pain. Every time I rhyme and I spill them flames. Peace to everybody who be all up in the struggle. Y'all know my freestyle's really about to bubble. Every single rhyme sounds amazing. This here is the alien invasion. Yeah, we be spoiling the secret. Every time I rhyme, I go the deepest. Y'all better peep it. Whole heart and soul. That's what I'm showing ya. Hey, crawling right over these tracks. They got arachnophobia. grip on the mic and I'm killing shit. Every time I rhyme, they be failing it. And you know I line up my words so proper, cause my flow multi-syllable. When they hear it, the flavor's good. Ay, illest in my neighborhood. Ay, illest in my city, though. Ay, illest with the gritty flow. Ay, showing no pity, though. Rappers getting slain every time that we come through. Ay, magic with the flames, and you know I make them run another session. Homie, what it do? No edit, undo. This is real life. I be cutting through the drama like a steel knife. With these lethal rhymes that take y'all back to medieval times. And y'all know I'm about to smash this quick. Y'all be sunglasses list. Cause I'm never throwing no shade. We be in the session getting paid. Y'all know that my flow is old grade. When it come to freestyles, man, they know that I'm the baddest though. And you know I do it hella different from the rest, cause I never want to follow the status quo. Way above the average though. Ay, y'all know I'm painting a picture. Ay, y'all know they call me the wizard, spinning the vinyl spells. Ay, tunes with the city heart swell. Ay, spit it from where I dwell. Ay, putting it down for my peeps. When they come to lyrics, people recognize and beat. Ay, doing what I'm feeling, and I'll be one in the million. When we all up in the building, we gon' make it fail. Anytime I'm spitting, man, they know it's never written, and my lyrics always hitting. I'ma make the beat melt. Yeah, and I built it by myself. Well, hold up, I built it with my team. Blow up, y'all know we got them schemes. Show up, just so I can live my dream. Yo. Fly when I'm all on my mission. Open up your ears, cause it's time for y'all to listen. Open up your eye with the visual concoction. Y'all know my freestyle's really not stopping. We gon' get it poppin' every time we in the mix. Come off the top of the mental, my lyrics is stretching. Y'all know that they infinite. Let me run it back. I'll be having fun with raps. Freestyle lyrics get it done real fast. Shine like the sun, I blast. Y'all with the UV, kill it truly. Rappers gonna do me. My lip is a movie, bubble like jacuzzi. Who's he? Y'all know we got a few views all up on the YouTube. We keep on increasing. Chris Calico stays beastin'. Shouts to the legend Tech 9. Getting busy with the double time rhyme. They both know you. Black Pegasus, he shows you to a lot of people. Yeah, shout out to the legend named Black Pegasus. Y'all know that dude be so dope with the content that he be creating. Other MCs in the game, not relating. Y'all know that I'm winning cause I never been a failure. They wonder if I'm about to go to Australia. Damn, I would love it. I gotta bring the thunder to the fans that be holding me down. Way down under, man, let's make it happen. Y'all know that is truly in my plans. Hey, we gon' have to go out to Australia for the jam. Listen, y'all know that I'm racking shit. Who's next to this? I'm the executive, yeah. And I come through with the proper detail. I deliver instantaneous email, and they know I spit straight bars till the day that I'm laid in my graveyard, coming up top with rap shit. To another planet, I'm intergalactic, it's no mystery, come get with me. These rappers wanna visit me, one of the greatest off top through history. Y'all don't want none at a crossroads like Robert to the Johnson. Cause I got you playing the blues, I'm slaying these crews. Y'all know they ain't nothing to me, I'm busting the free hit. They be adjusting to me, I'm never changing. Game rearranging, whole industry scared cause we coming. Yeah, got my enemies running, skills getting summoned. And I rock so well, and you know I chop y'all into little bits like the meat used to Taco Bell. Rappers they will not excel, ayy, all up on my past mistakes, ayy. You know I'm not gon' dwell, yeah, I rock the truest jam, ayy. I'm taking flight like I'm Superman, ayy. Check what we doing, man, ayy. Shout to the legend Sir Jazz up in the mix. Y'all know my squad up in this shit. Y'all know I really am a king. I am a god up in this bitch. Flow never, ayy, there it is. What up, Jazz? Shout out to my DJ Sir Jazz. We were just out there, man. Odyssey tour, killing these venues. Let me find my spot. It's always challenging. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I'ma try to break it down while I'm on beat. POV of a C, breaking through concrete. Yeah, trying to live a life that's twice as fly. Little C, reaching out to the high sky. Yeah. Little C, reaching up to the high sky. Come on, yeah. Hey. Little C, reaching out like, damn, I just wanna shine. I just wanna see my life be properly aligned. I just wanna have the opportunity so I can climb. I just wanna be something divine. I just been waiting for my time. I've been in the dark, wanna find a way to express my heart. Wanna find a way to express my art. Really wanna do my part. I've been trapped, wanna be right and exact. Wanna get past all the things that distract. Wanna find a crack, wanna find an opening, a way that I can break through. Cause I got so much I wanna be showing them. I wanna shine for them, I wanna glow for them, I wanna be out of this concrete and free. Hey, tell me who's fucking with me. Damn, I wanna get it, man, I wanna pivot, wanna get away from this darkness. I'm feeling heartless, I wanna find a way that I can move right through the margin. I wanna find a way that I can improve, man. I'm starving for a little bit of light, little bit of sun. Wanna get it done, wanna get away from here, I wanna run. Wait, what's that right above, man? I think I see a little crack in the concrete, little bit of love. Maybe if I climb in that direction, maybe if I share a bit of affection, maybe if I recognize I'm grateful to be alive, maybe I can start to strive, maybe one day I can thrive. Now I'm getting closer, now I grow towards the opening and start to explore. I start to move forth, the sun starts to scorch. I think I'm about to do it, I think I'm about to do it, I think I'm about to crack it, I'm about to break it. I'm in amazement as I start to get past the concrete. This moment's sacred, I'll remember this forever. I'm finding my way up out of this, and peace to all the people that was doubting this, cause now you feeling proud in this, you watching me. I ain't gotta use no more caution, I ain't trapped now under the ground. Sun rays, UV rays, they profound. Now I get to grow, flowers bloom, we astound, let's go. Yeah, 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 we astound like that. Come on, we astound like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shouts to Mark though, yeah. Shouts to Northwoods Cab. We about to go mad. Just lucky to witness, no pen and no pad. Yeah, we exist in the very same time. Likewise to you, we all have to shine. Love from Yemen, y'all know my lyrics transcendent. Time and space, just a couple things that I'm bending. Always spitting love, I ain't never spitting venom. Always off the top lyrics, I don't ever pen them. Shouts to the squad. Woo!
Fuck out the studio with that bullshit.
Facts. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Put some auto-tune on that one. Shout out to Axis and 9. Shout out to Jason Smith, yeah, ayo Alvin, glad I inspired that shit you writing is fire. Y'all know I hope this music right here gon' lift you higher. This beat is a heater. Can't see me losing, dog, I can't either. They see me rocking stages up in them theaters. I'm here to damage foes. Lyrics too much to handle, the way these cats is rapping sounding too stiff and mechanical, I get loose. Whether on the stage or the booth, and they digging the juice I can produce. Let me move it, swing it. I'm improving while I'm bringing that new shit. By comparison, rappers clueless, I'm about to do this and let you know I'm the #1 freer. Shouts out to son Jacob, wife Rhea, or is it Raya? I wanna say it right when rhyming. Big props going out to Simon. Jacob turning 1 in 2 days. 7-7, go ahead and save the date. I'm just blessed to have met my wife and to have created a human being who is so amazing. I'm a super fan, supporting every way I can. Shouts out to Simon, y'all know I'm about to slam this fat track. The Mac is abstract when he gives props to families. Yo, can't nobody damage me, I'm all up in your business. Spitting that hot shit, lactose strikes back again. Y'all, we got this, oh shit. Got a problem, there ain't no solving it. Can't consume milk, cause I'm lactose intolerant. Damn, y'all know that the Mac stays real. No ice cream, even with them lactate pills, cause it's simply not strong enough to straighten out my system. Back in the days, they was hating on my vision. Ironic, cause now this dude Harry, who's scared of the dairy, be spitting the creamy as cow's milk. They now built fucking venues for us to rock. I bust a lot of skills you can trust. I got the proper flavor, trying to explain to a rental car company why their car has essentially 12,000 extra miles on it. Damn, that sounds difficult to be honest. Well, I would say, you know how it goes. I had to travel out to them Harry Mack shows. Yeah, I had to follow the tour van. Oh, you ain't heard of Harry Mack? He's the man. Well, matter of fact, you wanna hear some great rhymes? Here, let me pull him up on FaceTime. Hey, yo, Mac, this rental dude is pissed. 12,000 extra miles, you get the gist. Can you make him a little happier for me so that maybe it doesn't cost as much money? I'll hold the phone towards him. Switch perspective, now I'm him. Who are you and why have I been put on the phone with, what, 3 words? How will that make this situation be cured? Okay, owe me money. Mac starts with the flow, it's not one for dummies. It's about how he owes his whole heart and soul to me. Be getting free, I'm money off the tree. I'm bringing it back again, and these words have distracted him. So now he's reshaping the packaging. Suddenly he's got a smile on his face. And for them extra miles, you do not have to pay. Let's go. Yeah, that's my advice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Microphone, I'm gripping it. Coming off top of the triplets. Anytime I'm up in the session, y'all know that I'm ripping it. Doing it better. I'm kicking lyrics off of the mantle. And every time that I rap for the fans, they know that my lyrics are essential. Doing it better. Spewing it off the tip of the dome. Yeah. When I be rapping, homie, I get in the zone. Yeah. Reading the chat, coming up top with unbelievable raps. If you been wanting the greatest ever, y'all know here's the cat. Do a flow off the mental. Yeah. Kill the game, it's essential. Starting quiet, getting louder, what I've been, bro. Y'all know I'm doing this as a crescendo crushing. For me, it's really nothing. I got the rhythm like I'm playing some percussion. Hey, Harry, I'm gonna have to second that mention. Shouts to Black Pegasus, you know he stays invented. Let us see me on the show, dog, I would too. Damn, we try to make that shit come true. Out in Colorado, when we couldn't squeeze in the time. But that dude, he's kicking unbelievable rhymes, no doubt. I'ma put it down for y'all and spit it cleaner. Shouts out to Sax and your wife named Regina. I break it down off the tip of this. The way that I be rhyming over beats is too ridiculous. Modern flows, bada boom back beat. Shout out to Omar, we gon' bring that heat. Yeah, I kinda mix it up every time. Yeah, when I'm spitting all these deadly rhymes. Big fan, can you use submersible? Every time that I spit, I let my verses flow. Rappers I shred up, like I'm trying to make a salad. And these corny rappers made the lead us. I save the day, something like the Avengers. I spit the way I feel it, so my flow is uncensored. Yeah, I'ma teach you just how it goes. I hold your attention close when I'm busting these flows. Turn a rapper to a ghost, I'ma drop a verse. Other rappers coming up short like the Smurfs. Used to do tapes with the ill static. Back when Brady B first put me on the Illmatic. I could do a freestyle on any subject. Shouts out to Dylan, they be saying, bro, I love this, the best. Representing for the West, and we passing every freestyle test. Y'all know the deal. We go beyond them lames. I'm trying to be the fucking GOAT, like I'm LeBron James. Coming up top with strong flames, yeah. And I used to be a no-name. Now some fans saying that I'm goated cause I kick the ill freestyles that's constantly quoted. Yeah, bring it back again to rap for them. You know I'm a real savage in the league of my own. About to have your first kid. Nervous as hell, but we about to do it big. Damn, I'm inspired on the mic. I can't believe I'ma introduce new life. Damn, we gon' stretch with agility. This gon' be my biggest responsibility. Yeah, regardless of my past as a rapper, now this is all that matters. I'ma give this all of my heart, but ironically, that will inspire my new art. It's a cycle of giving and receiving. Hey yo, we gon' change the game, please believe, man. Wow. Hold on. How y'all feeling out there? YouTube, we here. Three words on your mind right now. Okay, the three words are turn it up. Everybody say turn it up. Everybody say turn it up. Say turn it up. Hey, everybody say turn it up. Say turn it up. There we go. Everybody say turn it up. There's a delay, now it's turning up. Okay, yeah, we gon' crank the volume to the ceiling. Rhymes that I spit are 1 in a million. I am you and you are me. Hey yo, I'm Joel right now, flowing beautifully. Look in the mirror and I can see Joel's face. I'm lamping on the couch now at Joel's place. I'm chilling all in Joel's living room. Oh no, I think Joel's kids are doomed, cause I don't know where to pick them up from school. Damn, I be following Joel's rules. Joel got a whole fridge full of beer, so I'm drinking Joel's beer while I'm up in here. See, Harry doesn't drink, but Joel he does. So I'm sipping on them Joel beer suds. Damn, Joel, thanks for letting me fill up your energy. Once again, I get free. I'm just playing. Y'all know my lyrics is great, God. Big love goes out to the homie named Nate, dog. 190-year-old tortoise that's named Jonathan lives on St. Helena, and y'all know they stay wandering. He's seen some shit, got stories to tell. Hey, y'all know we out here raising hell. POV at King Kong, I already did it off the mind in this session, so you just gonna hit rewind, you gonna hear it. Basically, I said I get iller. It makes sense for me to be King Kong. He's a gorilla, and I do gorilla bars, and he stands tall and he's scary. Plus, I mean, I gotta be a gorilla. I'm hairy. Yeah, I'm back for more. Y'all know I'm kicking raps much more. Kicking raps galore. Let me find my spot once again. You know that I'm fly, Holmes. Off the top, I improvise poems. Yeah, all across the planet, I'm known. When I'm on the stage, you know that I'm home. Yeah, they be wondering if my mind's gone. I told them, nah, dog, my mind strong. Flow difficult to find though. Yeah, and I got the utmost refined flow. Yeah, every lyric is a dime though. That's 9 lines used for iPhone. Yeah, iPhone was the 10th line. Yeah, I kick the rhythm that could bend spines, lift you higher. I got the lyrics they admire. My message is the one that gets heard through the wire. I elaborate on the reason why this rap is great. Basically, I'm all about love. Won't hear the Mac and hate. And I'm getting hella love, G, cause this is real hip-hop. This ain't the Teletubbies. I'm doing Kung Fu. Black belt and making these tracks melt. Up in your nervous system, the max felt. I love thinking about the connections being made in your brain with every word while the beat's slain. More and more impressed, yo, it's fascinating. You got a superpower, dog, I'm not exaggerating. Neurons that fire together, wire together. I am more clever, I spit that fire forever. POV of a super chatter asking for a POV. Yo, I bet he's about to crush this shit easily. No, wait, I bet it's about to be a challenge. POV of somebody trying to balance on a high wire. POV of a gorilla. POV of an alligator who's sick and iller. I love it, man. POV of me. Oh shit, I just noticed the time. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Wordplay Wednesday. YouTube community. We've been streaming for 2 hours straight. How y'all feeling right now, man? Let me get some flames in chat, man, if you're enjoying the energy that we're pushing out tonight. Let me get some flames in the chat right now. And then about 15 seconds later, some flames might appear if the people are feeling it. We'll see. Much love, everybody. So excited to be here with y'all. This is the first Wordplay Wednesday in many months. There we go. I see the flames coming in. Much love, y'all. Thank you for being here. Why no Wordplay Wednesday for a few months? Well, many of you know we've been on the road, man. Odyssey Tour has been going absolutely insane. Huge shout out to everybody that came out and rocked with us live. We went all across North America. We did a bunch of shows in the U.S., 3 shows up in Canada. The venues were packed full of positive vibes and good energy, man. It was an incredible experience. Someone earlier asked me for 3 words to describe the tour experience. I said life-changing chapter. I'm not the same person having gone on this tour. I'm not the same person I was when I left, man. Facts, I'm changed for the better. It was a truly amazing experience. So that's where we've been, man. And this is our first one back. So excited to be back. Being as this is our first one back and y'all have been showing so much love the whole time, you know what we got to do, man. It's 6:02. We were supposed to stop 2 minutes ago, but I wanted to give this little heartfelt speech. And regardless, we're not going to stop, man. We're going overtime. I got to record a sample of me saying that in a cool way, man, so I don't have to wing it every time. We're going overtime, man. Y'all know what that means. I'm going to drop a new beat. From the moment that beat drops, if we get a green super chat, your basic $5 super chat, if we get a green one at any point during the beat, we'll extend the session by another beat. Then it's going to go up to yellow. Then it's going to go up to orange. Then to pink. All the way up to red. So we're not going to stop till y'all let us stop, man. If y'all want to hear some more, we're going to keep coming off the top and letting these rhymes pour, take a flight, and letting these lyrics soar. So y'all know what to do, man. When I drop this beat, I'll have my eye out for a green super chat. We'll extend the session as long as y'all want to go. Let's have some fun, man. Y'all ready? Here we go. Okay. Yeah.
So I think I understand how it works here. It just uses, so in each class that has a shape, it's just gonna call this, set these attributes here. And they're gonna now understand, obviously. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but the name, I think that the reason why I didn't think about this is because it is geometry, so I didn't associate with the WebGL stuff. But now thinking about it, it's kind of obvious. But buffer geometry is probably because it is the class that handles the buffer for geometries, obviously. So this class is going to manage the functions that are related to the buffer for all the geometry classes. And I think each geometry class is going to create the attributes on that are going to come from this other class here, the buffer geometry. So he calls the function and then it sets the values here based on the function for the geometry, and then it's going to set the attributes based on those values. And those attributes are the arrays, and the arrays contain the data. So it's the array that is passed here and the item size, and this stuff is the stuff that is required here is these things here that is required to set up the buffer. So it's specifying how to draw how to get the data from the buffer, and it's passing the data according to the function inside of the class. I don't know if I'm biased here because I'm studying 3JS now after studying the WebGL stuff. But I think that as far like 3JS seems a lot better than PixieJS in my way of looking at it now. But it might be very biased because I studied PixieJS without understanding WebGL first. So maybe if I go back to Pixie, or if I studied Pixie after studying WebGL, it would be a lot easier to understand. And just maybe I overlooked the names as well of the classes because I didn't realize. I was associating more as a geometry thing and not like something related to the buffer or the program. I thought it would be a different class that handles this stuff, but now it makes a lot of sense. Like I think that everything clicked on my mind now, and I understand how it works. It's not very hard. It's just difficult to understand if you don't understand how, like, the fundamentals of the way that the shaders work and the buffers work. So let me see if I have questions still. Yeah, the only question is still which buffer is gonna use, which shader is gonna use. So I understand the buffer and the data. So you send the data to the buffer, and the buffer is gonna call the functions on the shaders. But then how? I still have the question of how I find out what shaders is this class calling, because here it doesn't have anything. It's just structuring the data. So probably through this buffer classes, gonna be able to understand, because the buffer is the thing that communicates. And I think I saw from in this file as well, there are some functions that are related to the program. So probably in this file, there's gonna be something that allows me to understand more. But it seems like from the way that this is structured is that it creates probably like generic shaders. And maybe this is one thing that it might be better to, but this is the thing, because then I don't know. I think what I'm gonna do is just copy the classes, and then like what I was gonna say is that they probably, the way that they work is probably by creating generic shaders, and then they do these buffer classes, and then from the buffer classes, it's the only thing that changes between geometry is the data. But there might be ways to create specialized shaders for specific types of geometry. And then obviously the trade-off with that is that the library would be less generic. So the reason why they created this way is because it allows you to have more flexibility, because then you create the shaders as the templates, and then from that you just change the data. And for each time you want to change the data, you create a class to handle that. But it might be more efficient and optimal to create specialized classes, specialized shaders, and then have a specialized buffer class. And that will allow you to optimize the shader. Because then inside of the shader, you don't have to declare some variables or something like that, and you can make it more efficient for a specific type of geometry. That there might be interesting to look at that. But I think what I'm gonna try to do is to just grab the. I think I'm gonna first do the 3JS, like from the higher level of abstraction, just do the simple visualizations using 3JS with the circles. And then from that point, I'm gonna grab only the functions that I think are necessary to render the circles and the lines. And then from that point, I see if it makes sense to try to modify these functions to use. But maybe I should just continue now with the way that I'm doing now. And yeah, I think actually it's probably better to figure out what shaders first. So I'm gonna try to grab get the generic shader that I probably use to render the geometries, and then render directly from WebGL instead of using the classes. Then after I do that, then I can go over go this process of using 3GS and going back. But I think the key here is probably to try to figure out at what point is the buffer gonna call the shader, or how is gonna manage the shaders. It's either gonna be on this class, I think, or these other ones here. So I'm gonna continue to go over them. I think I'm already tired as well, so I think there's like 35 minutes to the video. So once the video ends, I think I'm gonna end the stream, and then I'll continue to do this off stream after taking a break. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to go over the, but it's a lot more clear now in my mind how it works. I'm gonna continue to go over the code here.
I got the lyrics that they beg for. Much love to Mike, shouts out to Dominic and Diego, the whole fan. Lyrically, I'm in control, man. And y'all know I killed the whole jam. Yeah, none can really go beyond my brain. Peace to anybody struggling through chronic pain that's got you sleepy, wishing you could travel through the intergalactic. I can't imagine that shit, but yo, I hope that my lyrics can be the medicine. Positive vibes, we about to let them in. Yeah, you know this verse is wild. Rap about hip-hop 101 from Versatile. When I was in high school, yo, we used to drive across town. Shouts out to the lifesavers banging that sound. Yo, Versatile put us on to so much. Man, I wish him and I was still in touch. That dude's a legend, representing live from the P. When I spit off top, there's no surviving my freeze. Shouts to Versatile for expanding my knowledge and making sure my understanding of this rap shit was polished. Yo, that's real. Green super chats arrived, so you know we ain't gonna stop this live. Yeah, we gonna extend it, y'all know how we do. Shouts to James B, they be yelling out choo choo. I'm next level, y'all know I'm working up a lazy. Shouts to Rice P.O. yelling, let's get crazy. I'ma break it down for y'all, banging off the top of the mental with the lyrics fully evolved. I'm the lyrical assassin, I came through just to elevate. I'm throwing rap confetti cause it's time for us to celebrate, yeah. Come on, hop up in the session. Rappers claim they on the same level, they shit is unimpressive. Modern flows, come on right up at the tip, ayy. They know my shit is legit, ayy. They know I'm never gonna quit, ayy. Shouts to the homie Omar, waiting so long for these bars, ayy. We about to bring that shit in, ayy. They know the map about to win, ayy, ayy. Coming off the top when I do me, ayy, ayy. Modern flows right over boom bad beats, ayy, ayy. I'ma do the shit that I feel, ayy, ayy. All my bars, they sound a hella real. Let's get it right off the top of the mental. You know that I'm making you panic, bro. Hey, maybe say you do it to it in Canada. I hope to see you up in Thunder Bay. We went out to Vancouver and Calgary. That's all day. Then we hit Toronto, but Thunder Bay, we gotta make it there. Yo, my lyrics precious metals, cause they crazy rare. That's $5 that I spend up in a while. Go ahead and keep going with your freestyles. What would you say to young you just starting out? Yo, some haters, they gon' try to crush your heart, no doubt. There's some people that are gonna stop you in your tracks, try to tell you that you don't belong to kick these raps. They gon' try to make you doubt yourself. They gon' diss you and try to damage your mental health. But listen, you'll keep persistent, one day you'll shine and glisten. Trust me, man, all you gotta do is focus on your mission. That's facts. Shouts out to my God that provides quality rhymes. It's hella nice, I be loving the vibes, they can't survive. Yeah, I'm coming right up at the tip of this. Real hip hopping, it's really ain't no stopping this. I be bossing off and dropping rappers deep in they coffins. From LA way out to Austin, Texas, staying reckless. Drop some knowledge on how traveling changes and evolves your brain, kid. Travel, change, and evolve. If we travel around, plenty problems can be solved. So good to switch up your perspective and recognize it's not about you, it's a collective. It's not the story of me, starring who? Me. No, it's more about this world community. So I travel so that I can open eyes wider. By the way, we got to extend this cipher. All we need to continue the super chat train is a yellow chat for the flames. If we get a yellow super chat at any point from the moment where we just started this joint, well, we gonna add one more beat. We going overtime and we proceed with the heat. Let's get it. Keep on traveling through the cosmos while I improvise live with these raw flows. They gon' catch on eventually. Much love to my homie out in NYC, representing for the door. We doing it big, yeah. Always a blessing to build with them kids, yeah. I saw many from the door at my show out in New York City. Getting busy with the flow was incredible. We keep on climbing. In the session, man, the people see us shining. Claim they on my level, but you know it's not real. Rappers fake, kinda like Hot Wheels, yeah. And you know I drive them quite mad. My brain more advanced than the iPad. Best believe got the best flow from here to Fresno. Word to Oppenheimer, man, I rock the rhymes that hit you harder. I refuse to barter or trade. When it be coming to lyrics off top, our minds are A-grade, yeah. What changed your chapter on this tour? Man, basically, I was going through the cities recognizing all of the love that was being shared with us. That's helping me rise above. It's incredible to see it. It's one thing to have them on a stream, but the people that was really seen in the same physical space, it made me realize that people are connecting to us, bringing these real vibes. It made me focus even harder on my art and double down on bringing this music right from the heart. Yo, shouts out to Peter, the van man in it. Y'all know these rhymes that I kick remain infinite. Shouts to Judo Ben, the sleep study tech. Terminate until we stop the breath. Yo, I'm back once again. You pick up that 100, you saw it fall from an old lady, then you run quick. Yeah, what would you do? Comes out and asks why you didn't return it. I'ma burn it, yo. Complicated indeed. I'm not sure I understand what you're asking of me, but if I ever pick up $100 bill up on the street, I'm gonna return it real quick, even if no one sees. Cause yo, you gotta keep that karma intact. I swing the rap blade, dog, I'm harming the track. Hey yo, Mac, just wanted to know who are your top 5 hip-hop producers of all time. I'm saying DJ Premier, gotta make it clear. I'm saying Jay Dilla, cause ain't nobody illa, yeah. And y'all know we love to let them beats rock. We be listening to the classics by Pete Rock, yeah. I'm here to drop a phrase. Hey yo, I gotta throw love out to Dr. Dre, and y'all know that I came through not to just play. We gon' light up the soul sample like Just Blaze. There's some thoughts on who some of the 5 best are. Not necessarily, you know, it's so hard to say. Damn, we needed a yellow super chat. We got multiple oranges. We going on, y'all. We overtime right now. We're overtime. We were supposed to stop over 9 minutes ago, but we're still going. I won't stop till y'all let me stop. If we get a new orange super chat at any point during this beat, we're gonna extend the session by one more beat. Y'all know what it is. Yeah, I'ma kill the game, you ain't even gotta really be asking. Shout to Rick Glassman, shouts to the goblins, we gon' do it often. Every time the beat drops, sound that I'm locked in. Ayy, I'm the God MC, shouts out to LB, the Prodigy. Dope to see you on tour out of Texas. Every time I'm rhyming, the people get reckless. Oh, it's your birthday, dog, I'ma celebrate. Every time I rhyme, I'm about to help you elevate. Ayy, 2 was absolutely insane, man, we was doing it truly. I was blessed to have you in the crowd. We were in the speaker system, turning it loud. Y'all know we are not here to play. Hey, yo, LB, the Prodigy, today is your day. Go ahead and do what you feel. Ayy, my flow one in the mill. Ayy, every instrumental I kill. Ayy, and I'm just displaying my skill. Shouts to your daughter, named Tatum. Got the mic and I keep on creating. New granddaughter, named Zara. Y'all know that I'm here to regard the bars, bro. I'ma put them down for the people. Every time I'm spitting, people recognize it's lethal. Ayy, shouts out to Papa J. Can't nobody have to ever stop the phrase. Real freestyles, every Mac is inventing them. And I got you swinging side to side like a pendulum. I'm off the head with those lyrics that move through the ebbs and flows. So life when I'm on it, man, I ain't never dropping. Do this often, man, you know I got a hot pen, but I never need it cause I'm hopping on the beat, going off the mental flow is essential. Oh shit, let me find my spot. Everybody recognize the rhyme's too hot. Yeah, I spit till I'm out of breath. I would love to hop on and do the 5 fingers of death. Damn, we ain't gonna stop, continue to perform. Still going overtime, bro, we got that on. Tell us a secret about you, only hardware will be able to find. Well, I could do it, but see, here's the problem with that rhyme. Once I say it, Nardwar would simply pull up this stream, and then he'd get the top secret information. For him, that would be a dream. But once I say it, immediately, it no longer is true. It's basically like a catch-22. I can't really solve it for you, dude. So the secret that I'm about to tell is one that's already well known. I don't have a brain inside it. It's a computer in my dome. Let's go. Nardwar knows it. Every time I rhyme, I help y'all focus. When it comes to freestyles, I'm the dopest. Other rappers out there steadily choking. The illest verse you can fathom. That's what happens every time I'm rapping. I be smashing something like the pumpkin, crushing every single one of your assumptions, dumping all up on the instrumental voice that I speak.
And I just realized that's probably not the way to figure out what programs is using is through the main class there, through the main file, the WebGL renderer, I think, because that's the one that is going to contain the program. So the creation of the program is the place to find what shaders is using. And I just, so it's probably on this file. And these other files are related to the attributes. I don't know why I was thinking about like figuring out through the buffer. Yeah, because like I think I was trying to figure out this thing here, but it doesn't do anything because it's just the name of the variable. So in this case here, it's gonna be these names here. So the shader uses these names, but it doesn't allow me to know what shader it is. To know what shader is using, I have to see at what moment it creates the programs for the buffer geometry and the buffer geometry. So it's probably gonna be here, hopefully.
Is too influential, consequential. If you step incorrect, y'all know that I'll be blowing up live and direct. Introspective when I dig deep through my thoughts. He's on the spot and he's making it happen. Y'all know that I'm taking the action. Insane, y'all know that I'm crazy when rapping. Whoa, let me catch up with the chat. Everybody out there be loving the rap. I'm coming off top with the bomb flow. People that be feeling my lyrics out of Toronto, yeah. And I'm going overtime to blow your mind. My lyrics that be so divine, I glow and shine. I make you say what the fuck. And if you step and make a number to cut you up, they say, bro, got it for real, yeah. I got you deep in your feels, hey, I'm blowing up in the game. That means I got the appeal, yeah. Keyboard 9 key was inverted from the telephone number pad to slow folks down. It ain't perfect. Shouts out. Is that facts? That's crazy. Well, here is a fact, man. We will continue to go overtime. Y'all know what it is. We needed an orange super chat. We got multiple, so now at this stage, we need a pink super chat. Right? Yeah, that's right. If we get a pink super chat at any point during this beat, we'll extend the session by one more beat. Y'all know what it is. Come on. If we get a pink super chat, we'll proceed with the truest raps. Shouts to the homie Tyler Green. Hell no, I get live on the scene. I get loose when I spit these bars. Every instrumental, I'ma rip it hard. And I blow your mind with the hot flow. Peace to the good people out in Morocco. Much love to Hungary. Off at the top, what it gonna be? H-Mac getting loose in the place. More freestyles than be flying on my face. I do me. And I'm proud truly 5 years old. Just lost your very first truth. And you gotta be brave and bold. Yeah. I'm like, damn, this shit is scary. Is it true? Am I really about to meet the tooth fairy? Sounds sketch. How she getting in? It won't be simple. Cause every night my dad comes in and he locks the window. So how? It doesn't make sense. A tooth fell out my mouth. Man, this shit is intense. Only 5 years old. I've been told she will come and give me money for the tooth. But where's that come from? How she get paid? Hey, who is her boss? Hey, who does she work for? Yeah. Honestly, this story don't sound too pure no more. I don't wanna let no stranger in my house. Matter of fact, I'd rather keep this tooth up in my mouth. Y'all know. Mac, man, I'm spitting shit that's foul. I keep working hard. I'll never throw in the towel. I keep getting loose. I be the champ. Hey, turn it to 11 when I'm live in your amp. Yeah. Coming up the tip. And I'm never gonna slip. And my lyrics is legit. Hey, we been making it as quick. Yeah, I been coming in live. Rappers couldn't survive. Y'all know I'm a flow. Sell me shoes with floppy soles. Yo, these shoes here are great. I know that you heard me. You might not want to buy them because you think they're not sturdy. Whoa. Lessons, bro. These shoes are special, bro. They're flexible. See, they can arrange to any type of surface. Yeah, they have floppy soles. Now, trust me, that's their purpose. I mean, they're meant to be that way. I know, you probably don't want to buy some floppy shoes here today, but let me tell you why you should. Well, this pair is rare. Oh, yeah, the cost might get up there. Oh, well, no, currently they're worth about 20, and I need my profit margin, so you'll have to pay me plenty. I mean, I'll need 50. I'll need 50 at least. I'll need 50 for these shoes. Well, hold up, wait, I see. Someone just paid me 50. In fact, they paid me twice. So you can have 2 pairs of floppy soles tonight. Let's get it poppin'. Hey, Harry Mack, I'm staying on a win spree. Shouts to your dogs, that's Dudley and Finley. Living out in Chandler Park, out there in the ATL. Ask me how the fuck I'm feeling now. I'ma tell you I'm feeling crazy well. Meant to say I bet Narwhal doesn't know about azalea. Yeah, that's probably true, man. So Nardwar is a failure. Just joking, shout to Nardwar. That dude's really a legend. I love the techniques that he used for his research. What's he rapping? No doubt. Shouts out to my cats. I'm about to step. I'm ready to strike. They be coming in yelling out, yikes! Yo, the super chat train continues. I'ma turn a YouTube live stream into my venue. Yeah, rap my collective, and my lyrics are super effective. And I'm blowing up when I swing in the ring like controller that's bringing direct hits. I'ma hit y'all with the uppercuts from the whole world. They be loving us, yeah. And I know up off this stage they never shoving us. We get it done, and I got multiple styles. When I be spitting and shipping the fans, I got them going so wild. Hit the beat fast, Sonic versus Mario. I'm sending love off the top of the dome, and they love how hard I go. My name is Sonic, I stay up on the roll, and I go so fast that they lose control. And you know that your shit don't work for me, cause I'm about to cut you like surgery. Hi, my name is Mario, and I'm the greatest plumber. When it be coming and going way underground, I'll be the world's 8th wonder. Yeah, explain to my wife that she doesn't need a fancy car. Yeah, you don't need no type of whip, all you need is these freestyle bars. Yeah, cause lyrically, I'ma put the pedal way down. Yeah, lyrically, I'ma rev my engine. Vroom, vroom, y'all be feeling that sound. Hey, lyrically, I be a Maserati. Lyrically, I'm a BMW. Lyrically, I'm Mercedes-Benz. It's a drop, it ain't nothing subtle, dude. Lyrically, I be the Formula One. When I race around the track, I'll be scorching the sun. And you know I get it popping in the back and never stopping. When I'm all up on it, y'all know I'm about to keep it honest. I go off the top, and I keep it in motion. I keep spitting drugs till the beat's overdosing. My flow crack. Y'all know this shit is right and exact. Y'all might get hyped when y'all are right, and y'all ain't hyped like the Mac. Let's go. Oh, snap. Super chat train continues. Y'all know what it is. We got the greatest community on the whole internet. We are now officially in the red zone. You know what that means, man. Y'all have been so crazy generous that at this point, in order to extend the super chat train, we would need an incredibly generous red super chat. If we get a red super chat at any point during this beat, we will extend the session by one more beat. So it's in your hands, man. I won't stop till y'all let me stop. We keep it moving if they like it or not. These freestyles, they be piping hot. These freestyles, they be hot like molten lava, leading y'all to the slaughter. I be flowing like the H2O, y'all know my lyrics water. Ayy, super chats going crazy, got it jumping, bro. Shouts out to TV, reverse to the dysfunctional. I throw it down for reactors throughout this whole community. I'm blowing up in this game, and you soon to see I'm getting bread like pumpernickel. You know I spit flows that's sick, bro. When I come right off for the tip, though, I medicate your mind, help you meditate and find the deepest level of shine. It's so divine. I be making moves, something slow, but we about to improve. Something like the butter on toast. Y'all know my flow is smooth. Does he ever stop? Well, I guess not. Long as the train continues. You know I'm off the brain in this venue. From here to Arkansas, my bars are raw. I'm on some next level shit the rappers hardly saw. So listen. Can't nobody punk me, the rapping junkie. Word to Clyde Stubblefield, cause I'm funky. I'm flowing off the head. Gotta hit the sound effects. We officially up in the red. Let's go. Shouts out to Avocado. 3rd month birthday, what you got, bro? Yeah, we gon' represent for the fans. Throw it up high and it's never gonna land. R2 Carney, legend in the flesh. Y'all know we about to have the whole game feeling distressed. That show was incredible, yo, Boston was the joint. Yeah, the whole entire shit was on point. So glad that you could be there. Thanks for the generosity. Y'all know there ain't no stopping me. Kick lots of frees. 7 years, damn, honestly, the future isn't clear, but I know I'll still be rapping. I know I'll still be rhyming. Yeah, that will never change all throughout the timing. I think I'll have a couple classic records out. I think the whole crew will be living better now. I think I'll be focused on my dreams still. I think I'll still be independent, coming up with mean skills. But who knows, man, a lot can change. The only thing that never stops is these hip-hop flames. So I'ma keep that in my heart. I know I'll be proceeding with my art. Who knows, maybe I'll have a family. Right now it almost sounds like insanity. Can it be? I get scared when I think about kids. It's got me panicky. But then I start to consider, if I wasn't here, I'd be so bitter. If I didn't have this opportunity to open up my eyes. So maybe I'll have a kid, and maybe I'll help them rise in the morning. And maybe I'll try to give them some warnings for mistakes I made, so that I can pave an easier road for them to walk on. That sounds beautiful. Yeah, open up my soul and get musical for real. Yeah, one true God of the Andromeda Galaxy crew. Told by Aesop, rock or fable, y'all know it don't stop. We get dropped from labels and we say thank you so we can stay independent. Said it and we meant it. Time and space, I'ma bend it. What's on my agenda? Simply spitting the truth. Whether rocking on the stage or up here in the booth. Let's go. Y'all know what it is, man. God damn. Super chat train continues, y'all. We not stopping. We needed a red super chat. We got a red super chat. We now officially in the double red. We need either a double value red or two reds during this beat, man. If we get that, we're gonna add another beat. Y'all know what it is. I won't stop till y'all let me stop, man. We overtime. Almost half an hour now. Double red, let's go. Yeah, I start to get hyper. I get loose every single time I enter the cypher, ready to strike ya. For other rappers, this shit is mad simplistic. No, it's complicated. For them, it gets cataclysmic. Yeah, I come off the top. I misdirect MCs, hit you like a hysterectomy. I'm the lyrical surgeon. Every day I'm emerging as a more advanced version. Shouts out to Jeffrey, there's no one who could test me. Peace to the fans around the planet who done bless me. Yeah, we keep it on, y'all know that I'm in control. POV, you're in space and you know you're getting pulled into a black hole. Oh no, I'm about to be destroyed. It's sucking in the noise, lots of light through the void. And I can't avoid wondering what's about to happen next to the boy. My molecules start expanding from my hand, and then I start to see my skin stretch apart and my flesh starts to stretch out like some modern art. And I don't know if I can hold on. I'm getting served a la carte. I'm getting cooked, shredded, and fried. Now I start to see my own eyes, an out-of-body experience as I move through. Wait, what happened? It's quiet now, dude. Could it be? Open up my eyes and I see I'm in the next dimension. It's not only 3, I'm in the 5th dimension. My brain will expand. Now in one breath I can rock every jam. Let's go. Navigating through the black hole. Yeah, how'd I do it, dog? I use this fat flow. And I do it in a hurry, no doubt. You have nothing to worry about. You'll be a great dad. Thank you so much from James B. Off in the dome, you know I flame freeze. I'm nice with the quotes. They be calling me the GOAT. Oh shit, we about to fill the industry with hope. Here's one out of 2. Best dream you remember. Damn, that's tricky for this rapping agenda. I had a dream one time, dog, it was stupid. I was clueless until the dream turned lucid. I pulled my phone out, I said, damn, my phone isn't vibing. All different colors, thought it was a virus. I said, wait, you don't get viruses on phones. I mean, I'm sure you can, but in my dream it wasn't known. So I said, wait, can it be? Am I in a dream? Cause this multicolored screen's something I've never seen. And I watched this one movie called Waking Life where they said distorted digital displays might just wake you up to the fact that you're in a dream world. So it starts to fall apart and it unfurls. Usually you wake up as soon as you notice. I said, no, I wanna be in this dream. Is it hopeless? I held on. And then I started levitating. Then I started in my mind straight creating. I made myself levitate every time I jumped. I was flying, I was soaring on a cloud and shit was fun. It lasted like a couple of minutes in dream time. Next thing I know, I'm extending my spine as I wake up to my alarm beeping. I'm smiling big. One of the favorite dreams that I had as a kid. Let's go. Y'all know we get props. Wedding vows to my true love hip-hop. I'll never leave your side. I always will provide the illest type of rhymes. Over beats, I'll always glide. I got your back forever, cause you know I hit with that Millennium Force. Right to hell, I send them, of course. Aw, shit. R2, Carney once again. Got the double red, so the team's about to win. Let's go. We can't let that slide. Plenty of generosity, y'all supply. Oh, shit. And we just got the triple. All right, yo, crazy. Double red super chats achieved. The super chat train continues. We in the triple red, but we already got one of them. We already got one of 3. We need 2 more reds to continue to take this on to the next beat. Let's go. Let's go.
Dark side, light this bitch up.
If I want a rapper, what would I be? I would be in the science LAB. be in the science lab with a lab coat on, coming up with chemical equations that are strong. Yeah, I would be pouring out the fluid. Yeah, if I wasn't making this music, cause I really got a curious mind. And you know that I'm trying to find the meaning of life, trying to find the answers. That's what I search for when I'm dropping these stanzas. So if I wasn't doing it with rhymes to triumph, I guess I'd be doing it by studying science. Yeah, that was my prediction. I opened up my heart and I show you my vision. Teleported way back to the 90s with current freestyle skills, so I be shining. They like, what? Shit is way too advanced. Every time he's rapping, he be making us dance. And what's up with these halftime beats and them 808s banging? It sounds like heat, but we ain't ever heard this style before. Lyrically, we feel like he's the wildest boy. I'm way ahead of the rest. I put you to the test. I be representing live from the west. So what do y'all suggest? I'm back in the 90s with the goats. Yeah, the ones who inspire me the most. Ayy, it's kind of ironic cause they hearing what I'm doing and they know it's iconic and they saying this dude is next level. We never gonna settle. I go against the grain. I'm the freestyle rebel. Check the way we moving and we back again. I'll be back up in the 90s just to rap for them. Ayy, Texas Chainsaw Massacre when the girl got away up at the end. Damn, thank God she made it so she can return to her friends. Yeah, cause the dude with the chainsaw on a deadly task. Yeah, he's known to take the flesh off of your face and turn it to a mask. That shit's trash. Don't ever let it happen to you. I be out here and I'm rapping for crews. Harry Mack on Tupac, and I shock you with my gift. Every time that I spit, I'ma give you a lift. Yeah, and you know I'm about to hit. Yeah, oh shit, we ain't got Pac beats, but you know I got lyrics and they couldn't stop me. Yeah, peace to the fans that's supporting. Every time I'm rapping, they perform so they record it. Y'all know I really rock the whole cypher circle though. Hey, I'ma hit you with the turtle roll. Yeah, it's a party wave. Hip hop was hardly saved till I came back just to prove that I'm a master. I cause disaster. I'm the improvised rapper, the raptor. I know that I be flying in the line and my stars kinda like it was Orion's belt. Like it felt. I make you understand, G. I'm a wild animal, the freestyle banshee. Oh shit, y'all don't get me. 2/3 of the way, thanks to Chris G. Yeah, take us up and up. And when I rhyme, I'm delivering the plush and stuff. So what's been up? Yeah, thank you so much. I'ma get you lifted like you're rolling up a dash. Yeah, till I retire, y'all. I get you faded like straight shots of fireball. I'm the seeing enemy, slaying my enemies. I bring the remedy. I got so much energy like this time of me. Get you twisted like Hennessy. I tend to be the GOAT when I come through with the improvised quotes. I'ma do the most. I'm coming with the best solutions. Getting better on the daily, call it evolution. And y'all know that these rappers hungry back in the starve. And I survive, I'm the fittest, so ask Darwin. I'ma make it known, man, you know I be rocking those wildin' rhymes on the Galapagos Islands, yeah. I be taking flight, y'all know I'm about to get this. My deep survival of the fit. This time I bring it, I spit clear stuff. I be sweet up with these beats like maple syrup. Rappers stepping up, I feel like they don't have a chance. I'ma make them all fall off like an avalanche, yeah. And you know that we quadruple team in the game every time that we streaming. But when I'm not rapping or streaming, I'm chilling with my girl, most brilliant in the world. Oh shit, we won't hibernate, cause we got the third one from Cybernate. Triple red super chats up in the mix. Hey yo, the pharaohs on the planet, they be loving this shit. Let's go. We be growing up, and yeah, they always throwing paper when we showing up. I appreciate that. Any pain that you feel, I alleviate that. Y'all know we gon' lift you up, never doing harm. Cybernate singing 3 times the charm. Yes, indeed, and y'all know they won't challenge. They feel the flows from my lady to Corvallis. How they're in Eugene. Shouts out to Oregon. Peace to all the fans around the planet that's supporting him. We gon' make it known, and y'all know I rock the venue. Super chat train will officially continue. What? Oh shit! Super chat train will officially continue. Y'all are insane. Y'all are really insane, man. You know what it is. Okay, we in the quadruple red right now, man. Quadruple red, dare I say. 4 red super chats to extend the session by 1 more beat. Let's go. Yeah, okay, Yeah, hey, yo. Yeah, hey, yo. If I said it, dog, I meant it. All off the dome, I never penned it. Lyrics I present are tremendous. I keep it real, homie, I keep it authentic. Yeah. And it would behoove y'all to study hip-hop real deep and evolve. Organ up in the mix, y'all know we giving props. Over instrumentals, people hear me spit a lot. I be getting loose up in these cypher circles. Underground like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, you know I'm the bombest fellow. Get you high like purple, word to Donatello. Yeah, and y'all know I blow your mind with a hard flow. Cause Mac is the leader like Leonardo. Y'all know that Mac's a winner. I'm the rapper sipping sensei like Master Splinter. Even from a distance, I'm about to reach ya. I eat beats like the turtles be feasting on pizza. Yeah, and you know I spit mean rhymes. Yo, they got infected by that green slime, that ooze. Yo, it entered their bodies and made them grow to a size that was more godly. Yeah, and now they learning kung fu. Mastery, black belts, we keep it true. Let's rock. Peace to everybody in the spot. Everybody showing love, knowing that the flow is hot. Y'all know they couldn't challenge this world, cause the planet is protected by Galaxy Girl, the cyborg. Yeah, once again, I'm the fly lord, I'm the mic boy. You know that I might score new points. Oh shit, we halfway home. Double red super chat, we still in the zone. What's good, Matt? Y'all recognize that the flow's heat. See you out in Dublin, I'll be rocking there with Mo Beats. Yeah, and they know I brought the content. Triple backflip over cars for the nonsense. Big Mercedes with the peace sign emblem. Had another light bulb while inventing. Poured a bowl of the cereal slosh pit with another man throwing out a frostbit. Ant to the hill with the match, to the strike, to the scratch, to the rough bars off of the pipe, to the underground burr, to the plum that was plucked off the top of the tree till the mother got stuck. I'm here. Lyrics always been A grade. Yeah, I'm a renegade. Yeah, shoot my shot, no magnum. All these instrumental tracks, you know I body bag them. Come on my maiden voyage while I destroy this. Raw freestyles, only kind that we deployin'. Chris G, they gon' get us halfway there. Precious metal flows, cause my raps stay rare. Mr. Tour, so this the best substitute. Hey, Chris G coming through with loot. Yeah, drinking beer in the airport bathroom stall. Shouts to my man for being honest with y'all. Real facts, they was opening up 3/4 of the way. Yo, this is dope and fuck. Shouts out to Dixie, shouts to Barry and Ruben. Shout to homie Patrick, ask how y'all doing. We got a raise, so why not? I'm fly off on my top. Y'all know I hit you and I pop. Up with the lyrics, let's go for 5. I'm about to break these words down with the flow that's live. Interstellar with these bars and my flows is paradoxical. People lose their mind every time that Harry rocks for you. Yeah. Death to fools, each and every breath is cool. Oh snap, y'all know what it is, man. We were one red super chat short of hitting the, you know, the next tier, but oh, Access Denied said we got it. Did we get it? Well, either way, man. Either way, he's saying no, we weren't. One was 200, and then one was one. We're at the quadruple. We got 3, I think. Did I miscount them? Well, either way, I'm gonna hit one more. We got 3 out of 4, I believe. Yeah. But yo, all great. We're gonna continue. Yeah. Okay, hey yo. Yeah. We ain't ready to leave. Yeah, we ain't ready to leave. We gon' kill the whole game, y'all better believe. So listen, coming all up off the tip of this. Rhyme skills we providing are ridiculous. Yeah, I break it down with the swiftness quick. Y'all better go and picture this. Yeah, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Every time I rhyme, I be driving you mad. Yeah, I be driving them wild. They be asking how long you practice freestyle. Man, I practice on the daily, been going crazy. Yeah, no ifs, ands, or maybes. Been practicing this since I was 11 years old. That's the reason why all the skills are cold. In 20 years, in fact, no more than that. Right up off the dome, I'll be pouring raps. Yeah, 22 years and we still in the mix. Every time that we rhyme, we be killing the shit. So listen, love you, Harry. I was in the front row, up in Vancouver, listening to your flow. Hit us with the 8-bar rhyme. I'm doing mad work. When it come to freestyles, I'm a master. Rhyme-wise, I be getting at ya. Y'all know I'ma cause me a disaster. Yeah, other rappers, they ain't that pure. I be lasting through the ever after. If she out of line, I'll catch her. Hey yo, I build this flow, little patchwork. Yeah, hey yo, I did my best, cause every single lyric that the Mac spits too fresh. Yeah, so know I'm here to make it known. I be entering the crazy zone. Daughter that the father plays, Harry Mack in the car, constantly bumping them improvised rap bars. Kinda adding a different voice. Yeah, y'all know that my flow top choice. Mad love coming out of Chicago. Y'all know I'm spitting all of them raw flows. Damn, I can't say Harry Mack. I can't even say it, man. I'm staying in touch. But shouts out to you. I'ma do what I do. Cause when I be rhyming off the top of the dome, I keep it true. Come on. H Mac, I be deep in the zone. I'm my own, I ain't never no clone. Yeah, on this beat, I be staying reliant. I'm dropping science, lyrical defiance. Yeah, just dropped my first song. Shout to the homie, yo, continue on. Yeah, I know I got lyrics aplenty. They recognize that the max and inspiration to many. Hey, yo, I'ma do what I feel when I flow for y'all. Growing like the microbial. Oh snap, man, I accidentally opened up another window. It had the chat, fucking broke it. Taking over with the domination. Going back and forth with fans in the conversation. Yeah, how many styles? I got various. Stepping incorrect to the Mac, that's precarious. I'm doing this for the super fans. Recognize who's the man. Change the game, I truly can. What? Yes, yes, indeed. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight, man. First Wordplay Wednesday back from tour. Feels so fucking good to be back on with y'all, man. Thank you so much to everybody in attendance. Shouts out to everybody watching this. Shouts out to you, whoever you are, wherever you're at. Thank you so much for being a part of this energy. Shout out to everybody going absolutely crazy in the super chats, man. Showing crazy support. Much love especially to everybody who went wild at the end there once we were in the red, man. That's just amazing. Thank you so much for the generosity. Appreciate y'all so much. Shout out once again to the entire mod squad. Miss Shanann, LeBong, Access Denied, T Burns. Who else was out there tonight? I know I saw some other mods in the mix. Much love to y'all. Thank you for being here. Sleaze, Kid Sleaze, what it do, what it do? And yeah, man, big up once again to everybody that we saw on tour, man, on the Odyssey tour. Everybody who came out and rocked with us. We're on a little bit of a break, and then we're going out to Europe. So to all the European fans, man, I can't wait to get out there and rock with you. Tickets for the European leg of the tour are on sale now. HarryMacOfficial.com/shows. That's where you go to get them tickets. Much love, y'all. Thank you for rocking with us. Appreciate y'all so much. We got the best community on the whole internet, man. I mean that shit. All right? So y'all take care of yourselves. And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace and love.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. I'm already tired. So at least I found this one, which renders the background, which is the shader part of the background on one of the things. I don't understand really well what's the point of the mesh, but I think all of them use. And I think it probably has to do with the mesh is probably the variables or the data for the generic shader that is gonna be responsible for rendering everything. So I think that is probably the shaders that I'm looking for are probably the ones that are related to the mesh. And I think that what I'm gonna do is just try to go over the render function for the WebGL render, and it's probably on that function or somewhere here where it creates the program, and then I can see what vertex and fragment shader is using to run the geometry. So what I'm gonna try to do is find that shader and save that shader separately on the file I have there for the project. And then I'm gonna copy the functions from here and just get the attributes, the raw attributes, and try to, with the attributes, set them up here manually, and then use the vertices that I find. Just see if I'm able to render the circle without using anything from 3GS. And then if I make that happen, then I think the next step is to just use 3GS to see how many, try to do a visualization with millions of circles to see how many it can handle without getting too laggy. And then after that, then I think what I'm probably gonna try to do is just copy as many functions as I can, like not as many functions as I can, but the least amount of functions as I can from 3GS to just to remove all the stuff that doesn't matter, like, not that doesn't matter, but that it's annoying to do, like the matrix calculations and things like that. I also have to spend more time studying so I understand how it creates the world view and stuff like that. I think probably off stream I'm just gonna finish doing this, looking at the source code and trying to see if I can figure out where the vertices are, and then after I do that, I'm gonna read these articles again and try to build the thing here. But I'm probably gonna stop at that, and then the next time that I stream, I'm probably gonna build the visualization with 3JS. Then after I do the visualization with 3JS, then I can go back and try to see if I can use the functions from 3JS. Just only get the functions that I need to build the stuff that I need and the shaders that I need, and see if I can build the application with that. And then I'm gonna replace the stuff that I have from Pixie with the minimal stuff that I can get here with my own code, and just copying as much as I can from 3JS. So this is the plan. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna come back streaming, but I'm probably gonna continue to do this stuff here.